Hey guys, what's up? I'm Tempo Jesus, and I'm going to attempt a world record run of Azurik Rise of Parathia on any percent. I'm contrasting my time with the current world record held by SillyGoose over here at 2 hours, 35 minutes, and 18 seconds. I've been playing this game since I was a kid. I love it, and I recently got access to my old original Xbox and the game, and saw the world record run and got inspired to try my own attempts. And I'm very graciously borrowing the capture card and several HDMI cables from my friend Mythic Dawn to actually record an attempt. And I have unofficially beaten it a couple of times, but I want to get a run on video. I'm also going to be doing some commentary through this run, both for the Azurik novice who knows nothing about the game so that they understand kind of what's happening, and for the person that is interested in speedrunning so that they understand specifically what I'm doing to get individual parts of the skips done. That being said, I'm going to use the words ordinarily and usually a lot because I'm going to be contrasting what's happening in this speedrun with normal playthroughs of the game. Without further ado, let's get started. So, this is the tutorial. We're going to skip the tutorial. This is not a cheat or an exploit or a bug or a glitch. You can literally just go to the end of the room and press X. They tell you could do that in the tooltips we're about to skip.
Welcome to the
Cool. So we're going to go to the end of this room. We're going to activate the steam power by holding down the left trigger, hitting X and B. We're going to explain why we're about to activate the steam power in just a second, past this narration.
Your adventure begins here in the water realm. The destruction of the discs has caused you to lose your elemental powers. As you search the elemental realms for the various disc fragments, you will also want to search for ways to restore your elemental powers.
Okay. So we're doing a skip right here called the power storage glitch.
Step on these.
And here's how it works. In this game, you hold down the left trigger and then you hit A, X, Y, or B, depending on what elements you want to equip an element, and then you let go of the left trigger to actually harness them. So right now, we're actually holding down the left trigger. At the very end of the tutorial, we harnessed all the elements needed to trigger the steam power, which we'll use in a second to do our first skip. But at the current moment, we have no elemental powers. The game, however, thinks we're still harnessing the steam power even though we technically have no elemental powers right now. And that's how we're going to be able to use the steam power in just a second, even though we have no elements.
Swim.
So now we're going to come over here, we're going to pick up this gem. Gems are, if you collect 100 of a particular gem, it will extend the elemental fuel of a corresponding element, which only happens as soon as we get powers. So we don't get those in any percent runs because frankly, they're unnecessary, and it would take way too long to actually make it beneficial. So we don't worry about the number of gems that we're picking up. In fact, we're actually going to go actively out of our way to avoid picking up gems for part of this because it just takes time that we don't need. Okay, so we're here in the first level of the water realm. This is exactly where you're supposed to go. Now, as I get out of the water, we're going to pick up this emerald over here, and then I'm going to take my finger off the left trigger, and you will see out of nowhere, flabam, we now have the steam power. And we are going to use the steam power to melt this ice block right here that has the first water disc fragment in it. I'll explain, I'm going to explain how this level works, and then I'm going to explain why the skip we just did was really important. So first of all, let's talk about how this level works. So there's this water spout right here that gets toggled on by this console over here, which we're currently heading to. You need to use the water spout to put out this ring of fire and get the water power that's in the middle of that ring of fire. We still have the steam power on right now, and it's actually quite useful in this level because you can use it to one-shot these sleets. So these mobs are called sleets, and red sleets have the lowest amount of HP in the game of any mob that's not a critter, and they are weak to the steam power, so being able to one-shot them is quite nice. So let's talk about the skip we just did. So ordinarily, what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to go through this level, get the first level water power. That enables you to get back to the town, and then go to the Earth Realm, and then you get the level 1 firepower from the Earth Realm, which enables you to get the steam power. And then you have to slide down an ice slide from that Earth Realm level to get to the disc fragment we just got to. So we just saved a ton of transportation time and needing to get that power in order to get that disc fragment. And what that means in the grand scheme of things is that we only have to do this level once. We don't have to come back here at any point because we're going to get the disc fragment and the power, and then we're just going to leave. And that's all we really care about. So you'll notice that I'm jumping a lot. Let's talk about jumping. So if you jump on any sort of downhill slope, you will increase your momentum as you move as a result of jumping on a downhill. So we use this quite a lot throughout the run to move slightly faster. Jumping is quite important. So we got to the water spout just here. I have to put out this ring of fire. I'm actually really bad at this puzzle, honestly. I don't know what I'm doing. I really hope that got all of it. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Wow, I got pretty much none of it. If you don't get all the flames out in time, they will respawn. Oh, there we go. That wasn't too bad. So we're going to jump in this water here. Now, when we fall in the water, our steam power goes off. You cannot use any elemental powers while you are in water, which is why the steam power went away. And if you fall in the water, you take no falling damage. Falling damage is very important in this game. If you fall from a moderate distance, you take some falling damage. If you fall from a huge distance, you take lethal falling damage. And if you fall into water, nothing happens at all.
You can use your...
So we saved 11 seconds with that split right there, and the reason we saved 11 seconds with that split right there is because in the world record run, SillyGoose accidentally falls off the bridge just before this island, and that loses him like 20 seconds worth of time. Okay. So you'll notice that we just got the water power. We actually don't have full elemental fuel right now, even though we just got the power. That's because the game thought we had the steam power, and it drained our elemental fuel accordingly. So if we got the first level firepower right now, it would be equally deficient. Now, you're not supposed to take this save right here. I take it anyways because this next skip I'm terrible at. So the way that ordinarily you're supposed to go back to the town in the Earth Realm that I mentioned a moment ago to get that firepower and subsequently the water disc fragment that we got at the very beginning of this game. And the way that the game makes you do that is by taking a golden teleporter that's off to the left here. And the game tries to force you to take that teleporter by putting a barrier here out on this shoreline that prevents you from swimming into the rest of the water realm. We are going to skip through this barrier by rolling, because the barrier does not push you back if you are rolling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. Excellent. So now, we are going to do a skip that I, for whatever reason, am terrible at. We have to get to that silver teleporter that's on that platform directly in front of us there. And we have to do it with roll jumping, because otherwise you have to have the level 1 air power to reach this ledge. But we're going to try to do it with a roll jump. I'll explain what roll jumping is later in more depth, or in more detail. Thank God. I'm terrible at that skip. You have to understand. Getting on my first try is like a freaking milestone for me. Okay, so let's talk about teleporters. There's two types of teleporters. There's golden teleporters and there's silver ones. Golden teleporters, if you visit the teleporter, it just works, and it takes you straight to the other one. Silver teleporters, you have to visit each end of the teleporter once, and then the entire teleporter system works. So we went to that silver teleporter right there, because the other end of it is out here, off towards those ice islands right over there. And we're going to go to that other location later in the game, which is going to cause us to teleport across this entire chasm of water to where we just were, which saves us like 50 seconds of swimming time. So we're going to go to this level over here. This is the story part of the water realm. The way this level normally works is you have to toggle these switches that are only accessible at certain times of day to eventually get you to a level 1 air power and an earth disk fragment. So it usually takes 2 full days and 2 full nights. We are going to do the whole thing in 1 night. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to get to the third switch, which is only usually accessible by day, and the level 1 air power, which is also only usually accessible by day, by taking an alternate route that you're supposed to have the first level air power in order to use. We're going to do it without the first level air power by roll jumping, which, again, I will explain in more detail later, because this isn't the best time to do it. And then after we get the air power, we're going to get the switch that we're only supposed to access during the day to be able to reach the earth disk fragment, which we're only supposed to be able to reach by night. So we're going to do the whole thing in 1 night, as opposed to 2 days and 2 nights, which is quite handy. So we're going to come out this tube here, and then we're going to hop over this little barrier, and we're going to come down here to these leaves. Now, we are going to roll jump across these leaves to get to the air disk fragment. Or the air power, excuse me, not this fragment. This fragment comes in a second. Might have jumped a little late there. Oh. Okay, so this is the hardest roll jump of them all, and I'm really bad at this roll jump right here. I'm really bad at it. Please. Oh god, I jumped too low. Damn it. This is why I took a save just before that. So saves are really important in this game. Saves enable you to not only reload to a place where you can try a skip again if you screw up a skip, but they also restore all of your health and your elemental fuel. In some versions of this game, well, not some versions, but like when you're doing this game for real, you can get upgrades to increase your health and you can get gems to increase your elemental fuel. So when you reload a save, it gives you the base amount of health and elemental fuel, which is what we are going to roll with for the whole game. So for us, it's a full health and mana restore every time we reload a save, which is very convenient. Okay, so I'm going to try to not screw up this roll jump for the 2nd time in a row. I don't know why I'm so bad at this one. Like, I'm just really bad at these roll jumps. And I wish I was as good at this last one as I am at the first two, but I'm not. I think I just went a little too late is all. There we go. Okay. So that's a pretty bad split right there, but I'll take it, honestly. I've had worse. Alright, so we just lost about a minute there to do that skip, but that's okay. So now we're going to toggle this switch. This enables these searchlights to come on. So the way that you're supposed to get to the switches in the morning or in the daytime and in the nighttime, in the morning or in the daytime, there's a bunch of platforms that raise up out of the water that you walk across, and then at nighttime, these searchlights illuminate these flower pods, which open upon being shined on. I think that's how you're supposed to grammatically say that. That open upon being shined on, and then you're supposed to hop. Oh, that was weird. Let's not do that, please. Good. And then you're supposed to hop on these across to wherever you're supposed to go. That was not completely optimal, but we'll take it. Okay. So now we are going to go do a really huge skip that involves another power storage glitch, which means we're actually going to reload the tutorial to be able to temporarily access a level 1 earth power. So let's talk about what you're supposed to do from here. Ordinarily, at this point in the game, you have level 1 water, fire, and air. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go back to the town, and you're supposed to access the fire realm that you can now access because of the air power, because you have to jump through jump across a bridge that has a gap in it that you can only access if you have level 1 air power. And then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go through 2 full levels of the fire realm to eventually get to the level 1 earth power. And it takes a long time, and there's a ton of keys and a ton of switches, and it's a bunch of... It's a long, painstaking endeavor. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip both of those fire realm levels. The way we're going to do it is the second fire realm level that you go to is this level with the lava fall, which attaches to the water realm we were just at through this pipeline right here. And so what we're going to do is just go over here. They prevent you from doing this ordinarily by putting a level 1 acid block right here. But since we just power storage saved the acid block, the acid power, we're able to get through that acid block and get to this level. So you'll see there's an earth disk fragment right over there on that raised platform. That's where we're going to now, because it's faster to get that disk fragment. Oh my god, no. Oh, I almost died right there. That would have been really bad. I would have lost at least a minute there. We're gonna go get the fragment, the earth disk fragment, and then get the earth power, because it's faster to do it that way than it is the other way around. Okay, so we have to jump across these platforms right here. This entire gauntlet is just kind of weird, even if you're doing it regularly and you have the earth power. So we're going to do a pretty massive skip right here involving roll jumping, and here is where I'm going to explain what roll jumping is. So ordinarily you have to jump on this steam vent down here, and then climb a bunch of vines, and then go across a couple zip lines. We're going to skip all of that by doing this roll jump. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you are probably, if you've never watched this game, or you've watched this game and you haven't seen roll jumping, you are probably justifiably wondering, what the hell was that? So that's called roll jumping. So here's how roll jumping works. When you roll on solid ground, the game, for a split second at the end of your roll, is still convinced that you are on solid ground, whether you actually are or not. So, what just happened there is, if you roll out into midair and you jump, immediately at the end of the roll, the game will let you jump in midair. You can store a jump this way. This is really useful for 2 reasons. Number 1, it enables us to jump further because we are rolling laterally forward and then jumping, which makes us jump farther, but also it enables us to avoid a lot of places where falling damage can happen. It enables us to essentially traverse a really massive drop without suffering falling damage, because we can jump right before we hit the ground and therefore reset our momentum so we're not falling at a speed whereupon we take lethal falling damage, which is really freaking awesome. You'll notice that as we get on these elevators and we jump at the top of them, that we're conserving the momentum of the elevator and jumping up with it so that we jump higher and farther. This is less relevant right now for this skip because getting to these platforms isn't particularly, like, time-saving or anything, but it is something that comes into play much later in the run. So it's just something to keep in mind. Okay, so we just got that Earth Disc Fragment, actually in a pretty good time. And now we're going to go get the level 1 Earth Power. Level 1 Earth Power is right over there on that platform, and we're going to do one roll jump to get over there. Like that. We got that one. Cool. So now, we actually can't walk through that Tesla tree, because we still do not have the level 1 firepower, which means we have no lightning shield, and we cannot actually get through that tree. So what we're going to do here, now you must be thinking to yourself, okay, look, you've got the level 1 water and air and firepower. It is now clearly time to go get the level 1 firepower. The answer is nope. We're actually going to go get level 2 water first. The reason we're getting level 2 water first is because level 2 water is located in the last full level of the water realm, and it's easier for us to get it here while we're still in the water realm, because we can just take this pipe to get back to the water realm. It's easier to get this power here while we're in the water realm than it is to go back to the town, go all the way to the earth realm, get the firepower, come all the way back to the water realm, and then get the level 2 water power, which is what we would ordinarily have to do. So we're going to skip that. We're going to go get the level 2 water power right now. Now here's the thing. Ordinarily in this run, you would actually be going back to getting the 3rd water disc fragment right now, because it's in the first fire level that we skipped entirely in this run. And you can access that once you have the level 1 earth power. And then you would come out here and you would fight the water guardian. And she is located right down there. You can actually see the seal right there, carved into the rock. Or whatever that is. I don't know if it's rock. Anyways, you can go fight the water guardian. But we are not going to get the last 2 disc fragments of the water disc, because it would take way too long. And I'll explain how we're going to get those later. So what we're going to do is we're going to go get the level 2 water power. Now, here's the catch. The level that has level 2 water power has level 1 steam blocks and it has level 1 smash shields. We cannot get rid of either of those without the firepower. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the smash power through a power storage glitch. We're going to go back to the tutorial. We're going to get smash power. And then what we're going to do is we're going to navigate around the level such that we don't go to any of the part of the level that has steam blocks. And we're just going to go straight to the smash shield, which is around the level 1 water or the level 2 water power, and we're going to get that. Now,
Welcome to the
I am historically pretty awful at this skip. In fact, the entire early game I'm just very bad at. As you can tell, I lost a minute getting the level 1 air power. I'm really bad at the early game. But I'm much better at the late game, and I definitely hope to shave off quite a lot of this time that we've already stacked up later in the game. So, here's the other catch. So we're going to skip the sea blocks. The way we're going to do that is we're going to get on this ice island that has a natural downward slope. Remember that if you go into water, you cannot, all of your elemental powers go away. So what you have to do is you have to get on this very slick island that slopes downward into water, immediately trigger your smash power, and then immediately trigger your air power so that you can jump up the island and not fall back down into the water. So it's kind of tricky, and that's what we have to do right now. Here we go. Smash air. Okay, so now we're using our air power, and we're jumping up this island right here. Okay. Oh my god. Not now. Please. Please, for the love of God. Just let me get up this freaking island. There we go. Okay. So I lost a little bit of time there, but actually, technically I didn't. Because we have to wait for this raft anyway. So we're going to do a double roll jump to get over here. So this traverses through, or it skips this steam block right here, which we would ordinarily be unable to melt with our current powers. Now, I'm going to demonstrate something for you all here. This is called the Axion Grab. If you jump towards a ledge and you attack, Azurik will immediately summit the ledge instead of doing an animation where he pulls himself up onto the ledge. We're going to use this to save a lot of time throughout this run, so just understand that that's what we're doing right there. Now, again, I am historically very bad at this skip. And the reason why is because I almost always accidentally cancel my smash power, or I accidentally use all of my air. Either way, I usually run out of... I get rid of my smash power before I actually get to the smash shields, which is just awful. Hopefully it will not happen here. But I am historically very bad at this skip. Okay. Fun fact, this is the first diamond we actually pick up in the game.
Collect 100
But not in an ordinary run. You would have picked up a lot more gems at this point in the run if you were doing an ordinary run. Now, you'll notice that we use this jumping attack right here. That is a very quick way to knock enemies down immediately, and the reason that I do that is just to get them out of the way and prevent them from attacking me. Especially because if they attack me, they have a chance to knock me off this ledge, and if they knock me off this ledge, then I lose time. And it's just really annoying. So we're going to toggle this switch. This switch activates this water cannon over here. We're going to freeze that water in a second and make a bridge out of it, and I'm going to explain a little bit more about how that works in just a second. Now, here's the worst part here, is that these bots are real pains in the ass, and they will sometimes knock you off this bridge, and it's the worst thing ever. We actually did that just fine. So now we're going to jump through here, and if you jump and do an overhead attack as you're getting that water power, you disable this smash shield as you do the cutscene to get the water power, which is actually quite nice. So now what we're going to do is we're going to reload our save, because remember, every time you reload a save, you are restoring all of your health and all of your elemental fuel, in this case, because we just have that little of it. What we're going to do is we're going to come over here to this island. This is the island that has the water cannon that we just turned on. Now, ordinarily, you're supposed to turn on another water cannon and another bridge to get over to here, but we are going to take this secret entrance right here, which is used to get that obsidian right over there. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to come over here with our air power, and we're going to jump up here. Made it. Cool. Again, using this attack to incapacitate enemies, which is nice. Now, here's the real catch of this part. Ordinarily, you're supposed to come back to this level after you have the level 2 firepower, and you're supposed to use that to melt a steam block that helps you toggle a switch, such that these water cannons, as you freeze them, these are currently ice. If you toggle that switch, they get snow frosted over the top of them, which prevents them from being slippery, and it's much easier to go up them. We don't got time for that, so we are going to manually just jump our way up this ice bridge. The trick here is to just stay as close to the center as you possibly can. And we got it. Trust me, that's a lot harder than it looks. Trust me. Okay. We're actually making really good time right now. Because if the only thing that we've screwed up so far is the air power skip, I'm very happy right now, because my early game is usually much worse than this. You will notice that we just dropped 50 feet into water and took no damage whatsoever, which would have killed any human being ever, but Azurik is pretty awesome. Okay, so now it's the time to get the first level firepower, which is technically the second power you're supposed to get in the game. We've gotten 4 powers so far, and we skipped the second one entirely for a very long time. So what we're going to do now is... I'm actually going to skip this save. I don't think I need it. I'll get the one that's later in the Earth Realm. So now this is the... well, the platform we're about to climb onto has the other half of the silver teleporter. So we're going to climb on this silver teleporter here, and that's going to teleport us all the way across this water to the silver teleporter we activated earlier, which saves us about 50 seconds to 1 minute worth of swimming time, which is really nice. Now we're going to come over here. I have never actually tested if Azurik's swimming speed is faster than his running speed. I honestly don't know. I really should know that if I'm attempting a world record run in this game, but I honestly don't know. It might just be the same. Okay, so now when we're going on this uphill, it's not really worth it to jump, but sometimes we do anyways because it's fun. I also, just look at Azurik's right calf, man. That thing must be made out of freaking steel. So now, the golden teleporter that we were supposed to take as soon as we got the first water power also drops us off at this area of the game. So this is where we were supposed to come a long time ago, like 5 minutes into the run. This is where we were supposed to be. We are now here 23 minutes into the run.
This wall of fire.
Okay. And now we are going to the Earth Realm, which is, again, where we were supposed to go about 20 minutes ago. So this is the town. This is Parathia. Azurik, Rise of Parathia. Azurik is the dude. Parathia is this town. This town's cool. I like this town. There's probably over 50 houses in this town. It is clearly inhabited by like 6 people. One of which is Balthazar, who is the antagonist of this game, who betrayed us in the beginning, and destroyed all the discs that power the town. So we have to go get the discs because he destroyed them for the sake of the Death Guardian, who offered him power. And we're actually going to run into Balthazar in a second for a very brief moment, and specifically a very brief cutscene, which we're going to skip. The funny thing about the cutscene is that it's only supposed to play the second time you come back to this Earthrealm level after you get the level 2 water power. But since we have the level 2 water power, and this is the first time we're coming to the Earthrealm, it's technically going to play on our first time that we get here, which is kind of funny. Alright. Yeah, so far I'm loving this run. I've made one kind of big error, which was the air power loss, but otherwise, this is going really well for me. Because my early game is much worse than this, usually. Yeah, if you think this is bad, wait till you see some of my other runs. Oof. Oof. I've gotten to this point before and have been 5 minutes behind the world record. Straight up. Like, it's bad. It's real bad. Okay. So here's the cutscene. We're going to skip it. Balthazar essentially says, hey, stop doing what you're doing. And Azurik says no. And he says, alright, instead of killing you like any rational antagonist would possibly do, I'm instead going to give these 3 catalysts. You'll see there's a silver teleporter that's over there. We are going to skip that silver teleporter, and we never use it the whole time in this game. Because we only enter this Earthrealm, as we are doing right now, on 2 occasions. The first one is here, where we do not have access to the other end of the teleporter, which means that there's no point in activating the first part. And so the second time we come here, we have to pass through the section we're about to go through anyways, which means there's no point in activating the teleporters at all. Okay. Whenever you save in this game, if you can, it's a good idea to save with your air armor, because that means that you can have it equipped and the game restores all of your elements, so you just technically get an extra usage of air power. So it's just more efficient and it gives you more fuel. Okay. That over there is a golem. Golems are the worst things ever in the game. They are by far my least favorite mob. Their hitbox is huge. They're really mean. They do a ton of damage. I don't like golems. They don't have the most health in the game, but they're way up there. I believe a Diluvian Stalker has the most health in the game, and you only see them in the sewers in the Death Realm. Okay, so now we're going to do a roll jump here. We're going to do 4 rolls to get into this tree. Now, what that just skipped, we started up there, and you ordinarily have to walk around the entire perimeter here to walk down a huge ramp to get you down over to here. And we just skipped all of that, which is really nice. Now we're going to do a skip that, honestly, you don't even need the air power to do, and it's just, I don't know if the developers intended this or not, but it's pretty straightforward. You jump on this rock, and then you, okay, maybe I don't jump on that rock. And then you jump on this rock, and then you jump up on this ramp right up here. So, what we're about to do is a series of, we're going to go get 2 keys. This is one of the keys right here. And these keys enable that generator right down there, which activates the minecarts that are in this area. And we're going to ride those minecarts around the Earthrealm. But that key, ordinarily, you get onto that island right there, climb that giant ladder over there, and then go get that key. But jumping from the ramp that we just did just saved us quite a bit of time. Speaking of ladders, I love this game a lot. It's a really fantastic game, and I would give it a 10 out of 10. But I can't give it a 10 out of 10 because it has ladders, which are just the worst thing ever. And I'll explain more about why I hate them later. But first, this skip right here. The firepower's right over there. Ordinarily, we have to melt that firewall over there. Or you could just do this. Okay. Beautiful. So now we have level 1 of every power and level 2 water, which means we no longer have to do the power storage glitch because we already have powers that we no longer need the power storage glitch to use. So now we're going to come over here and get the second key of the minecart. Key. And then we are going to come up this ramp right here. Ordinarily, you're supposed to go back down through there and through the wall of fire we just melted. Oh, oops. I did not mean to slide on that ice. But we're going to skip that. We're going to roll jump down through here, which is slightly faster. We use the second key. So that activates all the minecarts in the level. I think it activates. It either activates just this one and we're about to activate the rest of them, or it activates all of them. I don't remember. God, I love this game. This game is so beautiful. Look at this. This is just such a beautiful world. So imaginative. It's wonderful. I love this game so much. And I'm very glad I get to speedrun it now. So we're going to hop on this minecart. Now this minecart takes us to an under section of this level. And the under section of this level is populated with an insane amount of baddies. And the baddies, like, when you get to this part in the game, ordinarily, all you have is the level 1 water power, the level 1 fire power, no health upgrades, and no elemental fuel upgrades. And you never want to fight the baddies in this room, because there's just so many of them, and you will run out of fuel and you'll die. Pretty easily. It's fun to come back here at the very end of the game, when you're completely decked out in all of your powers and stuff. That's kind of fun. But until then, it's just kind of stupid to even try. Okay, so we're going to jump right here. That's going to get us closer to this shore right here. Alright, so there's a lot of enemies in this room, including quite a few golems, which are even more dangerous. So we're going to walk past all of them. And we're going to toggle this switch. Now this switch activates these gears. These gears are going to cause this giant tower that's in the center of the Earth Realm to rise up from out of the ground and go through this shaft. And we need to do this for several reasons. Number one is that it enables us to do some really good roll jumps later that enables us to get to other parts of the Earth Realm. Number two is that it enables us to get this central part of the spire, this hexagonal piece, to turn all the way around, which is going to be important for something that we're going to do in the game later. And then it's going to enable us to get access to the Excavator Key panel, and more specifically to this Excavator Key that's right here in this elevator shaft, which we're about to ride up. I love this elevator. I think it's probably my favorite elevator in the game. It's really cool. As if people have favorite elevators when they play this game. And so now there's just this giant freaking tower in the center of the Earth Realm. It's pretty dope. Alright. Using the upward momentum in the elevator to launch us up. Okay, so now we're going to go into this level of the Earth Realm. This level of the Earth Realm has our level 2 firepower. It has a life disc fragment, and it has the lava crystal for the tree song. And I'm going to explain what all those are in a little bit of detail later. So this room, the way this room works, there are 6 keys in this room. The 6 keys activate drills across the Earth Realm. 3 of the drills are in this room, and 3 of them are elsewhere. The keys are all protected by these barriers, and the barriers only go down when you kill red overlords. So these boys right here, you have to kill them. The reason that this is really difficult is because... Oh, that's actually pretty good right there.
The red globe.
Dang it. The reason this is pretty difficult is because there's a lot of other mobs that are around the red overlords that will impede your progress to kill the red overlords, which kind of sucks. So the overlords are weak to the steam power. That's why we're using the steam power. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to save right here with our smash shield on, so we take less damage from enemies, and we won't have to re-toggle that when we reload the save. The reason we're reloading the save is because we want to get more water and firepower so that we have more steam power. Now, there are 6 keys in this room. There are 6 overlords in this room. A rational person might ask, why wouldn't you just kill all the overlords in the room and then get all the keys and then do whatever you gotta do? The answer is, if we get that first key that we just got right here and go through this passageway, we get access to the level 2 firepower, which means we get access to the level 2 steam power, which means we can kill the remaining overlords quicker and get the rest of the keys faster, by extension, which is quite nice. So we're going to come through here. We're going to get our level 2 firepower. Okay. I don't know why you felt the need to physically climb that stair. That seemed kind of ridiculous. Okay. So, congratulations, believe it or not, you actually have half the powers of the game right now. Half of the powers. We're actually saving quite a bit of time because we did well with the red overlords so far. We have half the powers in the game. There's only 12 powers in the game, and we already have 6 of them. And we're only a half hour into the game. It's pretty insane. I think it's kind of crazy. Okay, so now we are going to go kill the rest of these overlords. And the other problem is these freaking rock monsters like to hit the overlords before you do, which means that they don't get the benefit of getting hit by the steam power like that. Stop hitting them. Just let me kill them. Oh my god. I hate these rock monsters so much. They're just such a nuisance. Just let me kill the overlord. There we go. Okay, let's get out of here. So, one of the overlords we just killed toggled the barrier, or detoggled, I should say, the barrier around this key right here.
Yellow globes.
And we're going to get this key right here. because it makes more sense to get this drill now while we're here than it does to get it later. And in this drill, excuse me, is the first life disc fragment. I'm amazed we're actually, I guess we're not saving time on our best, but I guess we're not saving time? Okay. Okay. So, what we are going to do is go kill the last 2 overlords, and then we're going to get all the keys, and then we're going to save. And then we're going to do what is, I think, probably the longest split in the game. God, I hate these boys so much. Oh, thank God. Okay, if you kill both the overlords at roughly the same time, both the cutscenes of disabling the key barriers play at the same time. Which means that you actually save a little bit of time because you don't have to watch 2 separate cutscenes. They overlap each other.
Key.
Actually, gonna turn on the smash shield here a little bit more. Key. So now we're gonna go get all the keys in the room, then we're gonna save to regain our elemental fuel. And then we are going to go get the fire crystal for the tree song. So let's talk about how that works. So, in this game, there are 2 ways to get to the air realm. And here's what they are. You can either go on the airship, which spawns in the water realm as soon as you have gotten 3 of the guardians killed. Specifically the water, earth, and fire guardian. Not necessarily in that order. And then there's the elevator in the Great Tree. The Great Tree is located in the Earth Realm. There's a gate in front of it, and past that gate is an elevator within the tree that takes you to the rest of the Air Realm. So in order to open the gate, you have to do this thing called the Tree Song. Here's the way it works. There is a giant crystal outside of the tree, and you have to unlock notes by going around to 4 smaller crystals that are around the Earth Realm and attacking them with a particular element. And then once you get to the giant tree crystal, you have to input the notes in the right order to play a song that is the same every time you play the game. And then it will open that gate and get you into the tree, and you can use the elevator to get to the air realm. Now, here is the thing. Even though the notes and the elements are the same every time you play this game, the game doesn't know whether you've gotten them until you hit these crystals. You have to unlock the pitches. You can't just play them in the right order. Otherwise, this would be much simpler, and we'd be able to save a lot of time. So we have to go around and get 4 of the notes. We just got the lava crystal right now. There is a lightning crystal, a smash crystal. Oh, I almost died right there. Oh my God, I almost died right there too. There is a lava crystal, a smash crystal, a lightning crystal, and a tornado crystal. And within this skip of Earth Disc 3, we have to get the lava crystal, we have to get the excavator keys, and we have to get the Earth Disc 3. And there's no reason for calling those sub-splits because it's just not really necessary. But it's all part of this segment. That's why this segment is so freaking long. Now, we're going to get the other tree crystals later, but that's how the tree crystals work. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go get the rest of the excavator keys. So, a moment ago, we just raised the central spire that's in the middle of the Earth Realm. And as we rode up the elevator, we got an excavator key. It's actually that one that's in our inventory with the star. And you people better appreciate that I just paused my game to show you that, because it didn't stop my timer, and I just lost like a quarter of a second to show you that key. So you guys better appreciate that. Anyways, what was I going to say? So we have one of the excavator keys. The other 2 are located in this part of this level that you have to use a drill key to go. So this is one of the 3 remaining drills left. Remember, there were 6 keys. There were 3 drills in the room we were just in. This is one of the remaining 3. We're going to get the other 2 shortly hereafter. So now we go into this back room. And in this back room are the other 2 excavator keys. We're going to use them to activate the 2 excavators that are around the rest of the Earth Realm. I'll explain what those are and how we do that in a second. I always hate jumping off that platform and taking falling damage, but it is just so much faster than dealing with ladders. So much faster than dealing with ladders. And I've just gotten used to falling damage at this point. I'm just like, it's gonna happen. It's okay. Everything's gonna be fine. I'm gonna hit that golem because I don't like golems. Alright, here we go. Okay. So now we're coming here. This is the start of where it really makes sense to do the Axiom Grab I was talking about earlier. It didn't work right there. Now, ordinarily, we're not supposed to come here until we fix the grab lift. There's a grab lift that you can activate in a different level of the Earth Realm that makes these boulders slide along this giant conveyor belt automatically. And then you just get on top of them and you ride a boulder all the way down to this passageway. There's the Axion Grab I was mentioning a moment ago. But we are going to skip getting that grab lift because it's much later in the game and it's not worth it to wait that long to get to the excavators. So here's a ladder. You'll notice how slowly he's climbing it. It's very finicky to use ladders. Ladders are terrible. They are easily the worst thing about this game. And my hatred for them will continue to glow. There are very few things in this world that I hate as much as the ladders in Azurik. Seriously. Like, they are quite possibly the worst thing ever. Alright, so we're going to skip this ladder as well. By doing that. And then, we're going to skip this switch, which triggers this ladder right here. Why would I ever use a switch that triggers a ladder? And we're just going to fall down here. We're going to go get this other excavator key. So that's all 3 excavator keys. We're going to use them to activate the excavators in just a second.
Key.
And we're jumping, and we're jumping. And we're roll jumping to save a little bit of falling damage. We have to begrudgingly use that ladder that's over there. And there's really not many other ladders left in the speedrun. I don't think... Are there anymore? I think that this is the second of 3 that we have to use in the whole run, and then we never have to look at a ladder again. Thank Christ. Okay. So we're going to come up this way now to get back out of this room. Now we're going to go input the excavator key. So the panel that lets you trigger them is at the very top of the Earth Spire right over there. So we're going to go there now. We're walking way around the left of that silver teleporter because there's a tooltip that pops up if you get too close to it. And since we're not going to use it anyways, we might as well skip the tooltip in a couple seconds. Okay. So at the top of this elevator, we're going to fly over to the bridge that was extended a moment ago. And then we're going to climb, begrudgingly, our 3rd and least favorite ladder of the whole game. This ladder is just awful. Actually, I take it back. I think there's one other ladder, but it's really short. Ladders! These ladders are terrible. Okay, so now we're going to turn on all these keys over here. We're standing on the top of this platform to minimize the travel distance between the key slots. So, these are the excavators, and at the moment they just come up and come down and come up and come down, and they don't really work. But now we're activating them so that they can rotate consistently, and you can get on the claws that are on the excavators, and you can move in between levels of the Earth Realm. We're going to go to that excavator right now. That's why we activated the excavators when we did. Okay, so now what we're going to do to skip this going down this ladder, 1, 2, 3, we're going to do a roll jump onto this bridge, because seriously, screw that ladder. It's so long, and I don't like climbing down that ladder. Now we're going to jump around the perimeter. So this is what we were supposed to do when we first got to this area. Earlier I did a roll jump onto a tree. This is what we were supposed to do to get all the way around the level. And it just takes forever. Like, it's not, like, drastically terrible. And it is on a mostly downward slope, which means we get to jump and move slightly faster, which is really nice. But, yeah, we skipped all of this jumping right here by roll jumping onto the tree. It doesn't make sense to do the same roll jump onto the tree right now, because we have to come back across this way, and we would have had to go uphill a little bit, and it comes out to about the same amount of time. So now we're going to go on this excavator and go to this level of the Earth Realm. Now, this level of the Earth Realm actually has the great tree that we mentioned, that has a tree song. We do not have all the notes unlocked for the tree song, and even if we did, we do not want to go into the tree song right now, because we do not have the elements we need to beat the levels that come afterwards. Because the air level requires some really, really important powers. So, those little dudes right there that just turned into the rams, I call them Littlefoot because they usually look like Littlefoot from Land Before Time. Oh, let me save. Come on. So now we're reloading our save to restore our air power. We're going to need a lot of air power for this next skip. And those creatures, Littlefoot works like this. During the daytime, he's Littlefoot. During the nighttime, he's a ram. If you ever attack Littlefoot and don't kill him, he'll turn into a ram, and he'll try to kick the crap out of you. So that's, by the way, that's the crystal for the tree song, and that's all the order of the notes over there. Height-wise, they correspond to how high the note is in pitch. So if you ever don't know how to figure out the song by just listening to it or whatever, you can just do that. So there's the Ram Boys, there's Littlefoot. Or what was Littlefoot. Okay, so now, here's how this level works. This level has 6 spotlights. You shine the spotlights onto these 6 orbs that are flaying off the tree. There's 3 red and 3 blue. The 3 red ones power that gravity lift right over there. The 3 blue ones power a different gravity lift that we're going to take to get to an Earth Disk fragment. We're going to explain how that works in just a second. So, we don't care about the red orbs right now, because we're going to get to the top of the upper part of the level in a different way. So we're going to roll jump down here. 1, 2, 3. To get back to here. Now we're going to come to the opposite side of this tree, and we're going to go to that searchlight that's right up there. Now that it's daytime, you'll notice that Littlefoot's back to being Littlefoot and not a crazy aggressive ram. And he's just so cute. Look at Littlefoot. Look at that boy. Look at that boy. Look at those eyes. Okay, so we're going to come over here. We're going to come through. Oh, God. Stop that. We're going to come up here to this searchlight. This is going to get us the second blue orb. And again, you're supposed to get the 3 red orbs first so that you can use the grab lift to get to the upper sections of the level so that you can get to the other 3 spotlights and then get all the blue orbs. We are going to skip that because we do not have time to go to 6 spotlights. What we're going to do is we're going to come on right over here, and we're just going to use our air power and forcibly fly our way up this clearly sloped path that is supposed to make us slide down and get back to the lower level easier. But we just did that instead. So now we're going to the last spotlight. It's actually a pretty good run. Like, again, I'm about a minute behind because I screwed up the first air power, but this is actually really good for me, because I'm usually much worse off at this point in time. So I will take this any day. I'm amazed I didn't hit that guy. I thought I did. Oh well. Okay. So, the last spotlight is right over here. By the way, this is where the grab lift usually is. So you're supposed to power the grab lift, and then a red beam floats up through that little hole we just jumped through. Or jumped over to get up to this set of spotlights. By the way, these orbs are very finicky. It's really hard to focus the spotlights on them. It's a lot harder than it looks. Okay, so we now excuse me, have powered this blue beam. So this blue beam goes through a little hole at the top of the landscape where we entered the level, and in that hole is the Earth Disk fragment. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a steam vent that's very close to this blue beam. We actually saw it briefly there in that cutscene. We're going to go to that steam vent. It's going to launch us up into this blue beam. And then we're going to slide across the blue beam to get to the Earth Disk fragment. And that will take us to the hexagon part of the central spire, which rotated outwards for this purpose, to be used as part of this grab beam. I have never tried, now that I think about it, I've never tried to get to this level and do this skip without rotating the central spire. I actually wonder what that would do. Oh, I have to find that out now. I'm curious. Okay, so we get in this steam vent right here. And now we just float across here. That was the best I've ever done that. The run that SillyGoose did in the world record was really extraordinary. I thought he just did a hell of a job in that section, because that's a long segment too. Okay, so now we're going to jump across here because it's actually faster to do that. There's the hexagon I mentioned, by the way. So now we're going to go get our level 2 air power. And along the way, we're going to get the Smash Crystal song as well. The Smash Crystal part of the song as well. And there's Littlefoot being his adorable little self, who turns into a very scary ram when you're mean to him. So the moral of the story is, either don't be mean to Littlefoot at all, or if you really need the health, be sure to kill him immediately, because he'll drop a lot of it. But yeah, I'm actually really, really happy with this run right now. We are a minute behind, but we're making excellent time. And to be clear, we're going to save a lot more than a minute later in the run. Now, it is daytime in the realm, which means you can actually see enough of this to not need to use the firepower. That will not be the case in a second. And as soon as it turns to nighttime, you cannot see anything without the firepower. But we're not using it right now just because we don't have to. Okay. So we're using one of our last 2 remaining drill keys right here to get through here. This is going to lead us to the room that has the smash crystal in it. Okay. So that's 2 of the notes of the tree song. And it is still daytime. We don't actually need to use the firepower right now. Oh, there we go. So now you see that it has turned to night, and now you literally cannot see anything without the firepower. That was actually a very clear before and after shot where it's like, oh wow, I can actually kind of see what's happening. And it's like, nope, now I cannot see anything at all. Like, anything at all. Okay. So now we're going to come over this way. We're going to use the last drill key right over here. This is going to open up an area of the fire realm that we're going to go into that has our level 2 air power. That's the second ruby we've gotten the whole game. The first one was in the water realm right before we got the first water power. That's the second ruby we've gotten the whole game. That tells you how much we care about gems in this run. Oh, that was weird. I did not intend for that to happen. I just lost like 3 seconds to have him climb up onto that rock. That silly boy. Okay. So now we are in this part of the fire realm, and I'm not very good at this skip. I might screw this up a couple times. So, this level it's a lovely level. It's not one of my favorites because it's just very hard, and very painstaking, but it's a good level. So the way this ordinarily works is you have to go through this level and toggle a bunch of switches that activate lava pipes, and the lava pipes change the terrain and help you get to different places of the level and things like that. You'll notice that we just jumped into the lava right there. That's because in this circumstance, it's faster to kill ourselves and reload the game than it is to quit the game and then reload the save. So what we're going to do instead to skip most of this level is we're going to use this steam vent to come up to here to this landscape, and then we're going to roll to get to this steam vent right here. Oh my god, we just got that on our first try. We usually struggle with that quite a bit, and I'm very glad that we just got it in the manner that we did. Now we're going to take this steam vent right here, and we're going to use it to actually go towards this landscape. Oh god, no we're not. Okay, ordinarily I would have gone to that landscape, but we got on the wrong... Okay. So... Oh no! No! I thought I had it. Darn it! I got too cocky. Oof. Oof! We just lost at least a minute right there. But we can make it up later. Don't worry about it. Okay, so now we have to do this again. See what I mean? See what I mean? I'm bad at this one. I'm really bad at this one. God dang it. Oh, I thought for sure we were going to get the last steam vent. Oh man, I'm actually kind of pissed now. Alright, here we go. One more time. Please. Good boy. I don't think we're going to make the ledge. God dang it. Oh, this is awful. No, 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 no. No, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. You can do it. You can do it! Oh, this is terrible. Ah. Okay, here we go. Okay. Let's just go through this. Let's take our time. Everything's fine. We're good. Let's just not die again if we can avoid it. Okay. So we're gonna go to this steam vent right here, and we're gonna try the skip one more time, where we come this way, and now we can just come all the way over here, and we can skip the other 2 steam vents. That's what we tried to do the first time when we hecked it up. Okay, so we just lost probably about 2 minutes right there. Probably. Which is a lot, but we can make it up. And actually, we're going to probably make it up with the Fire Disc 2 skip that's about to happen. Because we're really good at that skip, and SillyGoose is honestly not. So we're going to save here. This is a precautionary save. I've never died in this section, but I don't want to take the chance, because it's kind of dangerous. Essentially, this bridge here is just really narrow, and if a catalyst gets right on the center of this bridge, then it prevents you from really crossing this bridge in any meaningful way. I'm amazed that he didn't get knocked off the bridge right there. I thought for sure. If you knock an enemy off a bridge and into lava or something, they will die from the lava, which is quite nice. So yeah, even though we're at 53 minutes right here, and we just lost a lot of time, which kind of sucks, this is still really good for us. I've gotten to this part of the game and I've gotten to an hour into the game, and like still gotten world record pace by the end of it, because we just saved so much time in the later parts of the game. So the way this part works is, this is one of the lava pipes that you're activating throughout the level, and it pops out the level 2 air power, and then the lava ensconces the air power. I wonder if you can go with God mode through that lava fall and get the power. That would actually be kind of funny. I've never dropped back behind there before. It's not what I meant to do. Uh-oh. Is my audio delayed? It is a little. Okay. I'm gonna... As this is happening, like, as I reload a save and stuff, I'm gonna reset the audio real quick and see if it gets out of sync again. Don't think we need to save here, but we're going to anyways. So now we're going to go to this part of this next level of the Fire Realm, which only has a Fire Disc Fragment, but we still need that Fire Disc Fragment. Oh wow, I almost died there. Rip. Okay, so this next level is my least favorite level of the game, but we're going to skip almost all of it. So ordinarily, you have to get to this level not by this bridge. What happens is you continue in the level that we were just in until you get to the top of the volcano, you break off a piece of the volcano, and it makes a raft that you use to get onto that island over there that enables you to cross this giant lava stream. However, we get to skip that by coming over here to these Tesla trees, and what we're going to do is come right over here, and then we're going to jump onto this cliffside right here, and then come up here, and now we just skipped needing to do events in the previous level to get the raft to reach this section. And now we're going to skip the whole level. So again, this is my least favorite level in the game, even though it's really well designed and I like it and it looks cool and everything. I hate it because it just takes forever and there's a ton of ladders and there's a bunch of crazy crap in here. So we're going to skip most of that by this really cool ledge skip. And in the world record run, it takes SillyGoose like 20 tries to get through this skip. Maybe even 30. But it's really not that hard. Give me a second here. You have to jump at this ledge just right. And you'll kind of like shirk up the side of the ledge to get to the top of here. And it's taking me a lot more tries than it usually does, by God. Oh my God, please. Come on. Jeez. What's a guy gotta do around here? Oof! I am really sucking right now. And this is not good. This is one of the skips I'm supposed to save a hell of a lot of time on. But apparently... Ah, there we go. Okay. We should have enough air power to get through the rest of this skip. You can't afford to lose too much air power. Otherwise, you have to reload your save, because you need a lot of it to get through this next part right here. But I think we should still be good. I think we should still be good. Because we have to get up this hill with another air power. So we just skipped literally 90% of the level. If not more than that. Like, all we need to do is get to this battle platform at the end, and now we're here. Okay. So now we're at the battle platform, and it's pretty straightforward. You get on the battle platform, it raises up, it rotates around, you get the Fire Disc Fragment. So, just because... Yeah, the sound's definitely off. I'm gonna retoggle my sound here real quick while I can. So I'm gonna let it be off for a couple seconds, and then I'm gonna reload it, and then it should be in sync. Fun fact, if you attack an enemy with the... oh god, I just lost all my picture. Okay, never mind. We're good. Give me just a second here. Now, ordinarily you have to wait for this battle platform to rotate all the way back around. We are gonna skip that. With that. Now I'm gonna try to turn the sound back on for y'all. There we go. It's back in sync. I don't know why it fell out of sync. It's been doing that recently, but if I just reload the sound, it should be fine. So I apologize for that. If it happens again, we'll just deal with it. Okay, so there's the Fire Disc Fragment. That's really cool. So now, and you'll notice that we just saved almost 2.5 minutes worth of time right there. Because we're much better at that skip than SillyGoose is. And that wasn't even our best run at that by a considerable margin. I mean, I don't know how many times it took us to get up that ledge. Maybe like 9 times or something like that. It took SillyGoose close to 30. And I've done it in less than 5. And I specifically remember a run where I got it in 2. So it's really not as hard as he makes it seem. I think the problem is when he does it, he doesn't actually get on the high ground. He'll get on the high ground and then he'll walk down the slope and then try and jump, and I think it's just harder to hit it if you do it like that. But what do I know? Alright, so now we're going to come over here. So now we are going to go get a life disc fragment, and this life disc fragment is not supposed to be gotten this early in the game. Like, at all. At all. This is actually the last disc fragment you're supposed to get in the whole game before you go to the life realm and get the end of the disc. So, the reason that you're supposed to get this at the end of the game, if you look over there, you will see a level 3 acid block. That means you need the level 3 earth power to get past that block, which is the last power in the game that you get. We are going to skip that by flying over this ridge. Now, here's the thing. The developers of this game thought they were kind of clever. They put a barrier here. The problem is the barrier does not go up the entire cliffside, which means you can still get around it and get this life disc fragment. So, isn't that funny? Okay. I'm actually going to slide off of this catalyst right here. This is the other half of the silver teleporter that we enabled earlier. So now we are going to go get the second earth power, and we're going to go get the last fragment of the fire disc, and then we're going to go fight the Earth Guardian. That's when the game gets really good for us, because we just save time on a lot of splits past that. Okay, so the Earth Power, ordinarily you're supposed to go through this level before you even get, honestly, probably right about the time you get level 2 air. So right about here, you're supposed to go through the regular part of this level, and you're supposed to operate a grab lift that moves the boulders that we previously air jumped over, if you'll recall. I think we have enough air power. Actually, no, let's not take the chance. Let's not take the chance. We're reloading here because, we have to air jump up a ledge here pretty soon, and it requires a lot of air power, and I don't want to take a chance that we don't have enough. Okay, so we're going to come over here, and we are going to get to the earth power. So, again, you're supposed to activate the excavators, and then you're supposed to use the excavators to get onto this higher path that gets you to the level 2 earth power. We are going to skip that by jumping up here, and then jumping up here, which is not what the developers had in mind at all. Then we're going to come through here, and then we're going to go get the earth power. Now, this is a skip that I discovered recently that I don't think SillyGoose has picked up on. You can actually roll jump twice here, and then you can die because you're an idiot. This is actually really bad. This is actually really, really bad because we need to go... We need to find a way to get on... I wonder if we can do this, actually. Yes, we can. That's dope. And then, can I actually get onto that from here? Let's try it. Hell yeah! Okay, that should have been so much worse. Because what happened was we didn't get to this the first time. What we were supposed to do was go back down a ladder, climb over a bunch of boulders, climb a ladder to get back up to that generator there, go back down the way we came to then jump on this, and we were able to save a lot of time there by being creative and just jumping on top of other things. Now, this did use a lot of air power, but we should still have enough to get up this ramp. So again, there's supposed to be a gravity lift that we've activated by now, and that's supposed to help us get up there by just riding a boulder, but we don't have that, so we're not going to do that. Okay, good. Good. So we just lost a little bit of time there. That's fine. I don't care. We lost a lot less time than we should have considering the circumstances, which is fine by me. Okay. So now we get on this, and this takes us over to a set of level 2 acid blocks, which we can now melt because we have the level 2 earth power. And then we're going to melt those acid blocks and get the third fragment of the fire disc. Now, technically there's a faster way to get both this fragment and the earth power. I know what the skip is, but I don't feel comfortable enough in doing it. And technically if I was to do that, I would have to get these two things in opposite order. Which means that I would have to, like, redo the skips in the order that I get them, which would be kind of a pain in the ass. So I'm not going to do that. Alright, so now we have to go get the last Earth Disc Fragment. Before we do that, we actually have to go get the Tornado Crystal, for the tree song. And then we're going to go fight the Earth Guardian. Now, this is going to involve us doing the same skip we did a moment ago, where we jumped up onto this ramp right here, where we got the level 2 Earth power. Oh god, that was the most terrible jump ever, of all time. There we go. Okay. And I know it seemed like we had no idea where we were going there, but we actually did. Oh wow, that was like the fastest way down that staircase I've ever done. Cool. So, and I apologize if I'm rubbing my nose a lot. It's itchy. Okay, so, what we're going to do now is we're going to go get the Tornado Crystal. And then after we get the Tornado Crystal, we're going to go fight the Earth Guardian. And the Earth Guardian is an incredibly difficult encounter. Like, literally, I've been playing video games for, I don't know, 18 years, and I need every ounce of video game knowledge that I need to beat this boss. Like, it's just freaking impossible. Whatever balance team thought that the Earth Guardian was a good idea and gave him all the abilities that he did just needs to be fired, because he's just way overpowered and he needs a patch, he needs a nerf, he needs something. And unfortunately, the company that made this game no longer exists, which means they can't patch him, and we just have to deal with the fact that he's an incredibly hard boss encounter. In case you can't tell, I'm being facetious because it's actually absurdly easy. You do not actually attack the Earth Guardian. You don't actually do any sort of damage to him. All you have to do is melt acid blocks around the perimeter of the arena, and they send tornadoes at him that kill him. And you have to melt 4 acid blocks to kill the Earth Guardian. That's it. That's all you gotta do. That's it. So let's go do this incredibly difficult boss fight. Okay. Also, it's very dry where I'm at, which means my lips are chapped. So if you see me licking my lips a lot, that's just because they feel dry. Okay. So, we are gonna melt this acid block. Oh my god! Look at this incredibly difficult boss fight. Look at that tornado. He's gonna hit him like a boss, because he literally is a boss. Oh man, take that. Take that thing that I totally just did to you by melting an acid block. Look at how fulfilling this boss encounter is. Look how powerful we feel. Look at this. Look at that acid block I just melted. Doesn't that make you feel so alive and so in control of this game? And isn't this encounter awesome? And yeah, I'll probably stop talking about it now. You always want to have the Smash Shield on for pretty much any boss encounter in this game. It does the most damage reduction out of any shield in the game. And there are some instances where it will actually make you immune to any pushback from an attack as well, which just increases your overall mobility, and the Smash Shield is amazing. We are, however, going to go to the air power right here to get over this cliffside, because it enables us to get to this acid block a little bit faster. Oh, get wrecked, Catalyst. Oof. Alright. There we go. We win. Now, there's a glitch here that happens sometimes where when he dies, he drops the Earth Disc Fragment exactly where he's standing and not on the elevator. Which means that you have to ride the elevator up to the Disc Fragment. That didn't happen here, which means we get to go straight to the Disc Fragment, which is quite nice. I hate this platform so much. Cool. Cool. Okay, so now we are going to go to the Fire Realm, and we're going to go kill the Fire Guardian. We actually have 3 fragments of the Fire Disc. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the first part of the Fire Realm that we were supposed to go to, like, pretty much right as soon as we got the first air power, which was much earlier in the game, like at the 10-minute mark. So an hour ago, we were supposed to get to this part of the game. And what we're going to do is we're going to get the Water Disc Fragment that's at the very beginning of the first Fire Realm level that we have skipped entirely so far at this point of the run, but we're going to go back and get the Fragment right now. We're hopping along Parathia here. Fun fact, this house right over here to our right is Balthazar's house. And he's a greedy bastard because he actually has 2 obsidians in his house. So in case you guys don't know, obsidians are a special gem in this game. There's actually one right over there behind that rock. or behind that rock. I can't remember. But they're a very special gem. There's only 100 of them in the game. There's 5 in every regular level. There's 17 regular levels. So there's 5 in every regular level, and then there's 15 in the town to get a total of 100. Every 10 obsidians you get, you can get an upgrade from the temple that's in the center of the town. Most of them just increase your health, but they're all pretty nice, honestly. The 100 obsidian upgrade makes all of your elemental powers cost half as much fuel, and holy god, it's the best thing ever when you get that thing. Now, we're going to save here. We're going to reload our powers. Now, this is one of our favorite skips in the whole game. And the reason that I mentioned that Balthazar is greedy is because he's got 2 obsidians in his house. So now, this skip right here is awesome. I love this skip. I'm not particularly good at the Water Disc skip, but the Firepower 3, Fire Disc 4 skip is easily one of my favorite and best skips in the game. Yeah, I'm not very good at this one. Oh my god, I'm very not good at this one. Oh my god, please. Please. Oh wow, this is going atrociously. Holy god. Okay. There we go. You just have to find a way to grip right up there. Okay. Okay. So that was not very good. We're going to go get the level 3 firepower, and then we are going to begrudgingly take a save because we need to reload our air power to go get the Fire Guardian. But we're still really excellent at this skip. Because the world record run has it at 4 minutes and 5 seconds, and we can do it in a fraction of that time. Here's what you do. You come here, you flap once to get up here, and then you flap once to get up here, and then you're done. Okay, great. Like, he spent so long fumbling on that section, it's not even funny. Okay, so now we're going to come up here. We are definitely going to need to reload a save to get the rest of this. So we're going to save a lot of time right here. And we're actually going to surpass the world record by a pretty considerable margin. But since we're going to reload a save, we don't have to be necessarily sparse with our air power. So what you do is you come over here, and you slide off of here, and then you jump to get down to the firepower right here. Now, ordinarily, oh god, in this level, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go around the left side of the level and break the fire seal. I should have absolutely hit that platform there. I don't know why that just happened. It doesn't matter. We're still way ahead. So you're supposed to hit a seal that it lowers a staircase that gets you into a room that toggles a switch that lowers that minecart we were just on down to the ground. And you're supposed to get the level 3 firepower, and then you're supposed to ride that minecart to the Fire Guardian. Now, that takes a lot of time, so we skipped the seal entirely. We got the level 3 firepower, but the minecart still doesn't work. So we need to get to the Fire Guardian. The way we're going to do that is we're going to go back the same way we came up that landscape, and then we're going to jump up that very steep hill over there. And we can afford to be a little bit wasteful, I guess, with our air power. We can afford to use it more than we usually would, because we just reloaded the save. So we're going to come across this platform right here. So now we have to use our air power to get up that landscape right directly in front of us there. And then we're going to roll jump down to the terrace that gets us to the Fire Guardian. Cool. So now we get to the top of this cliff here, and then we roll jump down. 1, 2, 3. And then we just fly right down here. Take no falling damage. Now we're going to go kill the Fire Guardian. We do not need that save right there. That's completely pointless. And we're going to go kill the Fire Guardian. Now, here's how the Fire Guardian works. Put on the Smash Shield. The Fire Guardian is really straightforward. The Fire Guardian only takes damage from the lava power. So you have to fight fire with fire, literally. If you attack with any other element, she will actually laugh at you, which I think is a really fantastic choice. Because that just gives the boss a personality, and it's kind of hilarious. Just be like, are you serious? Are you really trying to attack me with this right now? This is not good so far because she's in a really open area. We're hoping to pin her against the wall here. Good. Now, if you use your water power, you can actually melt the fire that's here. And the only reason that we're doing that right now... Oh, God, this is actually really bad. She's going to so many open areas. Not only does melting the fire decrease the lag, but if you can keep her pinned in one spot, then that prevents you from having to dive out and come back in. You can just do this. Now, it takes 5 hits of the firepower to kill her at every stage of this. There's 3 stages. The first stage, she does that fire wave attack where she just shoots out fire in front of her. The second stage, she has these heat-seeking missiles. And then the third stage, she does both attacks. So we're about to go do the second phase of the Fire Guardian. We're going to jump down here. Oh, whoops. She got stuck on the terrace right there. We're not going to melt any of the fire because we don't know where she's going to go. And she's still in a very open spot. But once again, the Smash Shield is pretty awesome. You want to ideally try to prevent her from getting this attack off at all, because as soon as she launches the missiles, they do seek you, and they will find you, and they will hurt you. Not always the case, but that's okay. This is not a very good Fire Guardian run, by the way. We're usually able to pin her in a corner and get some more damage done, but this will work. There we go. Okay. So now phase 3, which is right below us. Okay. Now, the weird thing is that every Guardian has their own boss music. But Balthazar, the final boss's music is this music right here from the Fire Guardian. They take the Fire Guardian's music and they use it for Balthazar at the end of the game. Which I think is just really weird. It's like, you couldn't have just given him his own music. Whatever. Yes, go to a corner. Go to a corner. Stay in a corner, stay in a corner, stay in a corner. Or just stay right there. That's fine. We will take that as well. Okay, cool. A corner. Now, this last attack right here, we have to jump towards the Fire Guardian as we attack her. Because what's going to happen is we're going to land right under her, she's going to drop the disc fragment, and we're going to pick it up as she's dying, which means that we get to skip part of the cutscene. Otherwise, you have to wait for the whole cutscene to finish, which takes like another 7 seconds, and then you have to pick up the disc fragment. Okay, so now we're going to do one of my favorite skips in the game. I'm not the best at it, but it's just such a freaking cool skip. We're going to get the last fragment of the water disc. Now, technically, this is the second water disc fragment you're supposed to get, and in fact, the third disc fragment in a normal run in the whole game. And we are going to skip what is a very long process to ordinarily get this fragment by what is just one of the freaking coolest skips ever. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to slide down here.
Our world is in chaos.
Continue your quest.
That is that is 2 of the 15 people who live in this town. Who apparently, despite the fact that most of the discs have been gone this entire time, are surprisingly doing well. We're going to come back down here to the Water Realm. Now, let's talk about how you're supposed to get this disc fragment, because it's not the way we're going to get it. So what's supposed to happen is just after you get the air power, you're supposed to kill a red overlord on the shoreline, on one of the shores of this level. That drops a barrier, you get a key, you go down to this underwater station, and what you do is you fight through the station, and once you get to the top, you get to control this periscope. And you use the periscope to shoot a torpedo at this statue that collapses into a rock formation behind it, which reveals a cavern. And then you go through the cavern, and you get to the end of the cavern, and there's an entryway that leads out into the town. And in the town, you're now suddenly protruding out from the waterfall. I did not roll far enough. I think I might have messed this up. Oh, just barely not. And then you get the disc fragment. So we're going to skip all that by going up along this landscape right here. Oh, dear God. No, 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 no! Oh, damn it. Oof. Oof. Okay. I'm not going to do that. That's too fancy. You can just walk along that ledge. I try to use the air power to make it go a little bit faster, but I think that's just a good sign for me to not ever do that again. So, let's just not do that ever again. Here we go. So what we're going to do now, instead of that periscope stuff, is we're going to come all the way over here. Oh my God, seriously? Jesus. Well, this is going splendidly. So, essentially what we're going to do is we're going to go up... Oh my God, come on. This is not the time. done this skip 1,000 times. Come on. Oh my god! Why am I suddenly losing this skip right now? I have no idea. I never take this many tries at the skip. And it's not even, this isn't even the hard part of the skip. The hard part of the skip is the roll jumps that we have to do at the end of this. Oh my god, I don't know what's happening. Come on, buddy. Okay. You can get back to here just fine. I just can't get this freaking roll jump. I didn't jump far enough. God dang it. I don't know why this has caused me so much trouble right now. This is very aggravating. Oh, man. We just lost a lot of time, right? We've easily lost 2 minutes, at least. At least. Probably closer to 3 at this point. Jesus, this is so aggravating. Ugh, come on. Okay, come on. Please. For the love of God. There we go. Okay, so now I'm not going to air jump across this. I was trying to be really fast, and it's just not necessary. Just walk, and then you just consistently stay to the right. It looks kind of scary, but you're not going to fall off. Ever. It doesn't happen. Even there. When it looks like it's going to. Just stick to the right, and you're fine. Okay, so now that we're here, this is time to talk about the hard part of this skip. So the way this skip works, the hard part of it, you're supposed to go up this landscape right here, and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to roll jump through the back of this map that disappears right over here. And what you do is, I mentioned that we go to a cavern, and you have to go through the very end door of this cavern. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll jump into the entrance of the cavern, and we're going to get there just before we take lethal falling damage. Oh god, I missed it. God dang it. You're supposed to hit the entrance of the exit right before you take lethal falling damage, and then it triggers the cutscene that brings you into the town. I don't know why I'm struggling with this skip right now. This is not the time. Come on, buddy. Please. What? Ugh! What is happening? Come on. This is not the time to mess up the skip. Come on. Come on, buddy. I've already lost at least 4 minutes now. At least. Oh my good holy god. This is terrible. Why am I suddenly sucking on this skip? I have no idea. It has never taken me this many tries to get this skip. I don't know what's going on. Like, I accidentally lost the first run. Ah! That wasn't me. That was someone else. You didn't hear that. Oh my holy god. What is happening? Why is this skip being a little annoying piece of derogatory matter? Ah! Come on. I swear I'm not this bad at this skip. I swear. Please. Thank you. Oh, God almighty. How much time have I lost with this skip? Jesus. At least 5 minutes now. Good God. And I got to here on my first try. And I could have just gotten it on my first try if I hadn't been a little fancy boy. Ugh. Jesus. This is not the skip I was worried about at all. I remember mentioning this, saying, you know what, this is one of my favorite skips, and I'm not the best at it. Apparently, I'm nowhere even close to the best at it, because look at this skip. And again, I usually get this skip on my first try, and if I don't get it on my first try, I get it in like the first 2 or 3. I usually get it on try number 1. I don't know what's going on today. This is ridiculous. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Please. There we go. Jesus. Oh my god. How much time did I just lose right there? 4.5 minutes? Great. Oof. Now, this is okay. We still have some opportunities to make this up. So, first of all, we're really good at the Water Guardian fight, which is what we're about to do right here. And then we're also really good at the remaining Air Realm levels. Especially Air Disc 3. That's where I'm expecting to save a lot of time. And I mean a lot of time. That's one of my best splits in the game. And it's significantly faster than the world record run. So, it's okay. That was aggravating. We're through it. We're going to do the Water Guardian. The Water Guardian's really easy. And we'll be good. It's kind of frustrating, though, because, like, the Fire Power 3 and the Fire Disc 4 skip was, like, so beautiful. And then that happened, and it's like, ugh. It's like winning the lottery and then getting shot in the face. It's like, why did I even bother? Okay. Luckily, we lived, and the doctors are bandaging our face up, and we can spend our winnings in just a second. So here's the water disc seal. We're going to go find the Water Guardian now. Now, if you break the seal right at the very center, the suction from the tube will actually pull you in a little bit as the cutscene's happening, which saves you a couple seconds of having to physically go in the tube. Now, we're going to go find the Water Guardian. The Water Guardian is very simple. Here's how the Water Guardian works. She has 4 tentacles, 4 water tentacles. You freeze a tentacle, and then you attack it with the steam power, and then it loses its HP. You have to do that 3 times per tentacle. There's 4 tentacles, so you have to freeze and melt 12 attacks worth of tentacles. What I've discovered about this fight is that if you, after the first cycle per tentacle, if you jump and attack with the ice power and immediately switch to the steam power, it will actually melt the ice block in the same attack cycle, which is really nice. So we're going to hope to God that happens here. She's not a very difficult boss fight. And we should be able to get this in relatively quick time. There we go. We need ice. She does that splash attack, which is kind of annoying, though. Otherwise. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is not what I meant to do. Okay. Let's get the smash shield back on. I was a little bit too quick there with my element transitions. Okay, here we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So you can actually get them within way fewer attack cycles if you just transition to steam fast enough. Like that. Beautiful. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. There she goes. Okay, good. Now, let's go and kill you. Why not? Okay. If you stand right here, the disc fragment will come out to you while that cutscene's happening. And then you can get it while the cutscene's happening. So we just saved 13 seconds there. I'll take that. That's cool. I will definitely take that. That was a really excellent fight, too. Okay, so now we have killed 3 of the Guardians, which means that the airship is now in the Water Realm. So we have to go back to the Water Realm, where we just were, and we have to go kill Balthazar on the airship. So we're just gonna... Oh, by the way, whenever you get a disc fully completed, there are relics across the base of the perimeter of the temple that will react differently upon getting a disc completed. So, like, there's a fountain that will start spewing water if you get the water disc, and there's a fire cauldron that will start having open flames if you get the fire disc. There's an earth that's like shattered that will start to coagulate back and forth if you get the earth fragment. There's a windmill that turns on if you get the air fragment. Just cute little trinkets like that. Let's take this save right here. And we're going to reset so that we get enough power to kill Balthazar. We probably technically didn't need that save, but I want to take it anyways. Okay. And that's why jumping is important. Oh, that's right, a ladder. Oh wait, there's way more than 4 ladders left in this game. What the hell am I talking about? There's this one, there's that one on the airship. There's a lot of ladders left in this game. There's a couple in the Air Guardian. Yeah, there's a lot of ladders left in this game. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? I wanted there to be fewer. I just wanted there to be fewer. What I should have said was, there's only 3 there's only 4 ladders left in the Earth realm. That would have been more accurate. Okay. I'm going to show you guys a quick little trick here. So, because you cannot, this is just a cosmetic glitch, it's not really anything relevant to the run. Because you cannot use any of your powers in water, if you try to use a power in water, like if I put on the Smash Shield right now, it will immediately cancel and it won't even cost me for the elemental power. So if we use all of our powers, it will do that attack, but it will not actually charge us for doing the rainbow power. And if you attack after you do a rainbow attack, like within 5 seconds of it, it will keep the graphic on your Axiom, which I think is kind of funny. Okay, so we're going to put the Smash Shield on here because there's sleets at the top of this ladder and they're little bitches. And if you don't have that on, their attacks will knock you off the ladder, and it's really aggravating. So. Here we go. I'm looking at my segments. Okay. Can we kill Balthazar in less than a minute? Here we go. We're going to find out. Oh, whoops. So Balthazar, I just realized I was doing no commentary. So Balthazar is pretty easy. Every time you hit him with an element, he will change his armor to be immune to the element that you just attacked him with, so you consistently switch back and forth elements. In this fight, he actually has a really cool ability that he does not have when you fight him the second time. By the way, you fight him twice. And that ability is, what was I gonna say? He actually drains some of your elemental fuel, which I think is a really cool ability. I think that's very clever. Okay, we have a lot of air power. We're going to save here, because this part's kind of tricky and dangerous. But we have a lot of air power, and we should be able to get through this. So, this level, the way it works, there are these 3 water slides that you get by taking an elevator up these giant central platforms right here. And what you have to do is repair the water slides, and then you have to go do a puzzle where you have to make sure that all the valves that are supposed to be open and the valves that are supposed to be closed on the water slide are there, because otherwise you could fall through parts of the slide or not be able to get through a particular door. Oh god! That was a little bit too close for comfort. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we're doing right here is we're skipping, turning on any of the reservoirs and crap. We're going to the bottom of the second water slide, which contains the 3rd water power. I have to do that skip a little bit late, because you have to jump immediately upon getting the water power. And then you have to get, so the very bottom of the second slide has the water power, and then the very bottom of the 3rd slide has the life disc fragment. We do not actually have to turn on any of the water slides to complete the level or anything like that. So what we can do is just go for the power and the disc fragment. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this fan to get us up to the very bottom of the 3rd slide, and then we're going to use our air power to hop our way up this slide. Oh god, I almost fell off the slide right there. That would have been disastrous. Okay. The world record run, he wipes on this a couple times. Maybe even more than once. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to slide down here. Now, in the world record run, he comes over to the side right over there. I actually just fly directly to this fan, because you don't suffer lethal falling damage, and it enables you to not have to jump on that fan later, which just saves you a little bit of time. Cool. Now, we are going to go do one of the most interesting skips in the game. And I say interesting because I used to hate this skip a lot. I now love this skip because I think I finally figured out how to freaking do it. And if I didn't, well then that's a damn shame. SillyGoose is exceptionally good at this skip. So, I don't know if I'm going to do it as well as him. But we are also going to go to what is arguably my favorite level in the game. I love this next level. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's got a really excellent puzzle system to it. It's kind of annoying when you're actually playing it, but it's lovely. I love this level. Okay, so we are going to save here, and we're going to reload to get enough air power. There's technically a squid we could have killed just to the left of us, which might have saved us a little bit of time, but I also don't want to take the chance that I'm going to run out of air power. And I was really, really low. Okay, so we're going to come over here to this golden teleporter. Now, the way this level ordinarily works, it's really complicated. So, there are these rotating spires, and they have lower platforms that are covered with ice. So what you're supposed to do is break the ice with a cannon, get on those lower platforms, go out to those islands that were directly in front of me a moment ago, and then wait at the bottom of those islands for a tube that takes you over to that island over there, and you have to melt the steam block that's at the top of that. We're going to skip all of that by coming over here and doing this, if we can do it right. I jumped too early? Oh, nope, maybe. No, I didn't. Cool, great. So you do that. You have to jump off of these spires right here, and then you just have to melt 3 steam blocks. And once you melt the 3rd steam block, it enables you to get to the level 3 air power. And then once you get the level 3 air power, you can get the disc fragment that was at the beginning of this level that you saw just before we got in the golden teleporter. So yeah. This is a beautiful skip. I love this skip. I used to hate it because I could never figure out how to do it. It's all in the flap timing. It's all in the flap timing. The first flap is later than you think it should be, and the second flap is earlier than you think it should be. And if you do that right, then you're fine. The other thing is that once you get to the spire itself, you have to jump off the side of the spire in order to not take fall damage and die. So it's pretty precise in that regard as well. Okay. We should have enough air power to do another one of these. I'm taking the save because I want to, in case I die, to have somewhere pretty close so that I can restart. Okay, so that's the second steam block we could melt. We could have done that one, but I think the time is gone. Fun fact, if you are ever wondering what element works strong against a particular mob, kill that mob and figure out what color elements they drop. That's what they're weak against. The combination of all of those. So. Oh, wow. This is going really splendidly so far. That's 2 down on the first tries, which is really great. This is going splendidly so far. So, like, for example, the tornado women that have the giant freaking wings. I used to hate those things because I could never figure out what was the best power to kill them. And then I realized that they dropped water and air and earth. So that means that if you attack them with water, air, and earth, which I input in the wrong order based off how I said them, it gets you ice power. And if you use the ice power against them, they die, like, instantaneously. I believe the way it works, I have to go through and actually figure out how damage is calculated in this game. To the best of my knowledge, the way it works is anything that is weak against an element will take twice as much damage from that element. And then every subsequent level that you have above that makes it take twice as much damage again. So, like, for example, if you have something that's weak against the... that's not right. I have to come over here. If you have something that's weak against the steam power, if you use level 1 steam power, they will take twice as much damage. And if you use level 2 steam power, they will take 4 times as much damage. And if you use level 3 steam power, I don't know if they take 16 times as much damage or 8 times as much damage. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think we're good. Nope. Took lethal falling damage right there. So this skip is kind of tricky.
Press the A.
But we're still doing pretty well. Okay, so where... I'm going to this one now. Yes. I keep track about which way I'm supposed to go by keeping track of whether or not I've collected the diamond that's in that hole. We might actually be able to get to this, like, right now. Nope. Darn it. Darn it! We just lost, like, 30 seconds right there. And we're going to continually lose 30 seconds every time we don't quite take advantage of that opportunity. But yeah, so ice power works really well against these ladies.
The green globe.
And just because we're waiting on a spire, we might as well just murk some people. Oh, because, you know, it's fun. 3 of the obsidians that are in this level are on these spires. We do not care about the obsidians. We're trying not to pick them up, no matter how tempting and shining they may be. Beautiful. Okay, that's actually a really good run. I will take that run. Straight up. That was really good. We only died once, and that's really stellar. It's not gonna make up any time for the world record, because he also died only once, I believe, on his. But we're still gonna do a really excellent split right here. And I think that's one of the best runs we've ever done of that, if not the best run we've ever done of that. Excellent. I feel good. Okay. Let's keep going. So now, because we've activated we've declogged all 3 of those air vents, it now turns on this giant fan, which enables us to get to that level 3 air power. Level 3 air power is, without a doubt, the most fantastic power in the whole game. It's just extraordinary, and I love it. Oof. And the only reason that we didn't quite make the world record time is because we missed the spire the first time it came around. Level 3 air, you're amazing. Oh, it's so good. That's so good. Look at that.
New power.
5 flaps. 5 freaking flaps. We didn't quite get that in time. Doesn't matter. So we're going to lose a little bit of time in this next split. Technically what you're supposed to do is roll under that before the elevator gets there. But that's okay. Technically speaking, you actually only need 4 flaps to get there, but that's fine. So you'll notice that we are a minute behind the world record right now. That is A-okay. You want to know why? Because we are about to blow the world record right away. We are going to blow it right out of the water with the Air Disc 3 skip. It takes him an obscene amount of time to do the Air Disc 3 skip, and we get it on our first try pretty much every time we do it. It took him 5 tries, I think, in the world record run. We get it on our first try, and not getting it on a try involves reloading an incredibly early save. So we save a ton of time on that skip. It's wonderful. I think I'm going to skip this save. We're going to go straight to the Earth realm. So, we've done all the airship levels. We've gotten all the powers and all the disc fragments of the airship levels. So what we have to do is now go into the rest of the air realm to get the rest of the air disc and to fight the air guardian and to get level 3 Earth. And then from there we go to the life realm, and then from there we go to the death realm, and then we're done. So, let's talk about what this entails. The rest of the air realm is accessible through the Great Tree, which we talked about a moment ago, or not a moment ago, a while ago, through the tree song. You will remember that we have 3 elements of the tree song unlocked: lava, and smash, and tornado, in that order. We still have to get the lightning crystal, which we will get as we're getting the level 2 air disc, or the second disc, air disc fragment, excuse me, in just a second. You can save here if you want. I don't. I'm just gonna save when I get to the Earth realm, because that's where the air disc fragment is, and there's a skip that I've discovered with that moves a little bit faster. Like, seriously, the air disc 3 skip is that's my skip. That is my skip right there. I'm gonna save so much freaking time on the air disc 3 skip, because I love that skip, and it's real easy too. And I've discovered, like, aside from the fact that the main elements of the skip I can execute well, which I can, there are a couple of other little tidbits skips that I've discovered that save you, like, an additional 20 seconds on top of what you're supposed to skip by doing the actual skip. So, I love this skip a lot. Not the Air Disc 2. I do not like Air Disc 2. I'm saving my air power right here because I'm definitely going to want to use it in a second to get over, definitely going to want to use it to get over the catalysts in a second, and I'm going to use a save that's just past the catalysts. So as I mentioned, the first time we came into this level, there's a silver teleporter on the left that we're never going to use, because we only come to this level twice. This is the second time. And the second time we come here, we have to come through this section anyways to get the air disc fragment and the lightning crystal, so there's no point in having the teleporter. So we're going to reload, get some air. We don't necessarily need the air power to like physically roll jump our way through any of the skips that we're about to do, but we actually do need enough to get the lightning shield, because we do need that to get to the second air disc fragment. Okay. I love the level 3 water power. It looks so cool, and it does so much damage. It's wonderful. Look at that. It's beautiful. Okay, so there's lightning shield. That enables us to get through this terminal right here, which will heck you up. And then we get this fragment. Okay. So now we're just going to drop straight down to here. And we're going to go get the lightning crystal. Can we make that? Nope, not a chance. Darn it. Darn it! We just lost a couple seconds there. I don't know how many. Let's kill this boy, because I don't like them. By the way, the golems that do not have an overlord in them are weak to the lightning power, and the overlords that do have, or the golems that do have an overlord in them are weak to the tornado power. Just letting you guys know. Alrighty. So. This is all going pretty well so far. We're losing a little bit of time on this split because of this excavator that's being a dingus. And we didn't quite get on it the first time around, which sucks. But that's okay. That is A-okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. This is the lightning crystal, so we're going to get this real quick. Now we can successfully, oh come on, play the tree song. Because we can play the tree song, we can now get into the rest of the air realm. And getting into the rest of the air realm gets us our last power and the air disc. Okay. So, we're going to come here. This is, what's about to happen is a skip that I recently discovered that I really, really like. So, ordinarily what you would do is you would either roll jump down to that tree or you would walk all the way around the perimeter. I have found a faster way to get down to that excavator right there, which is where we're going for the tree song. You come all the way over here, and what you do is a 4-roll jump that gets you just barely to the edge of this landscape. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you jump. So right there. And then you can jump from here to get onto this excavator. It's wonderful. So that's a quick little skip that I've discovered, which is cool. Now, look at the splits. World record, 17 minutes, 11 seconds. My best is 9 minutes and 42 seconds. I love this freaking split. It's amazing. So we're going to save a hell of a lot of time here. Because he gets here at 2 hours into the game. We are going to take much less than 2 hours to get there. The goal is probably like 1:55 is where we can get to this skip. Which puts us in extraordinary position to do the rest of the game. We're going to reload right here to get our air power back. So now we get to input the tree song. Now, people have been wondering, is there a way to skip the tree song? Yes, but it's very complicated. So, what you would think you would do is, well, what if you, because there's a gate there, but there's a gap on the top of the gate. You think, well, okay, what if you just fly in from over the top of the tree and get through that gap? We could get there because we can roll jump from a rock that's nearby, or we can roll jump from a spotlight, and we can fly up to it, and we can get to the top of the gate. The problem is there's a barrier just past the gate. So even if you get to the top of the gate and try to get through the top, you can't actually get through it. So then people said, well, okay, what if we get under the gate by going to the pool of water that's in this room under the elevator? You can do that. There is a pool of water that you can use to access that, and you can get in there. But the problem is there's nothing in the room past this ledge that's high enough to actually lift your way up to this ledge. So then, the closest we've been able to come, which I cannot do, I did it once after 15 minutes of attempts, and I will never do it again, because it's just way too unreliable. SillyGoose, I don't know if SillyGoose discovered it or if I just saw it on a SillyGoose video. There's a part of this level that had a circular set of vines that you can climb, And what you can do is you can go in those vines and you can jump a bunch. And as you jump a bunch, when you get closer to the top, when you get to the very top, when you hit the jump button, it collects all the momentum that you had from the previous jumps. So when you get to the top and you jump, you just launch straight into the air at an extraordinary velocity. And you can use that to go straight up and then come back in through the top of the tree and land next to this elevator for no falling damage. It's ridiculous. And for the life of me, I don't see that ever being used in a speedrun, because the problem is when you do the jumps a bunch of times, when you get to the top, you don't know which direction you're going to shoot off in. You could shoot off straight behind you into the wall, you could shoot across the level, you could shoot out of the level. Like, you could go anywhere. You don't know. Okay. So let's talk about this skip right here. So, let's actually talk about this level. This level is really weird. So this level, you're in a giant tree. There's only 2 saves in the whole level. And the first one is not available to you until you complete the first section of the level, which is where you go in this fan right here. Hey, stop that. Hey, you also stop that. You go in this fan right here, and then you go up through this giant series of platforms to eventually jump into a flower pod and get a key. And then once you get the key, it takes you back down the tree onto the first save, which is directly above the elevator we just got to. Now, in order to skip going through all those platforms, you have to jump from this branch right over here to that branch right over there. Now, the thing is that SillyGoose does not... I don't think he's aware of the fact that you can do a roll jump right here, which makes this jump significantly easier. And so we just got that on our first try with no problem. In the world record run, it took him like 5 tries to get to that tree skip, because he wasn't doing a roll jump. He was just trying to jump 5 times from the previous branch and get them perfect. And it's a pain in the ass to do that. So I have instead discovered that you just roll jump there once, and then you get there no problem. I have also discovered that if you roll jump right here once, you can reach here without having to go to any of the extremity platforms, which is quite nice. So now we're going to come over here to this ladder. Oh, damn it. And this is what I mean about ladders being unreliable. Stop that. You also stop that. Could you people leave me alone so that I can just climb this ladder that I'm begrudgingly participating in? Okay. So now, we're going to toggle this switch right here, which opens this flower pod. Now, we have to get on one of these floating platforms that are around the perimeter in order to get to this flower pod. And the closest one isn't coming for a bit, so we're just going to fly down here. And we're going to climb this ladder from the correct side. That's another thing that sucks. You can accidentally climb ladders from the wrong side, and then it takes you forever. Because you get up to the top here and you're like, oh, I'm on the wrong side, I gotta jump down now. Where's the platform? Oh, son of a bitch. We're gonna take this multicolored globe.
The multicolored...
So that we don't have to reload a save to get all our air power back. Like, this is a long time to wait. There's only 3 platforms that rotate around this part of the tree, which is really stupid. I think there should be at least 4. But we're going to wait on one of them, and now we're going to rotate all the way around here. There's technically a skip that I could have used to get on this platform slightly sooner, and I probably should have done it, but I also wouldn't have gotten the multicolored globe. What you could do is you could fly onto that little knot coming out of the tree right there from the platform where you got the switch on, and then you can jump to the left to get to roughly where that far platform is right now. And you can do that, and I chose not to, because I was like, I didn't think it was necessary. I thought for sure I was going to get to that platform, that one over there, in time. While I'm here, can we talk about how this ice armor just looks so freaking cool? Look at that. Look at this. Don't you want armor like that? I want armor like that. That looks freaking awesome. Like, come on. It just looks dope. Also, I'm going to talk about the camera here real quick. Your D-pad, if you press up on the D-pad, it will zoom in. If you press down on the D-pad, it will zoom out to a pretty insane level. I didn't know this until I started speedrunning, but being able to zoom all the way out is actually insanely helpful. I probably could have gotten the key right there, but I decided not to. I'll just wait for this. Okay. Make no mistake, we are still saving a massive amount of time right here. A massive amount of time. It's not going to take us 7 minutes to get to the last air disc fragment. Straight up. Okay. So we use this key. This gets us to the second part. So that's the save platform I was talking about. And every time you get done with a section of the tree, you come back down to that save platform. Which is kind of interesting. It's a really weird save. So now there's two paths here. You always want to go up this path first. And the bottom path, technically it gets you to the last key faster. The problem is you missed the air disc fragment because you need to get the key that we're going to right now. Oh, come on. How did that not lift me up? You have to go to the key that we're going to right now in order to get the air disc fragment, and that's what you really need. Also, these platforms here, the ones that have vines that come out from under them are completely secure and will stay around forever. The ones that don't have vines on them, like these two right here, will collapse shortly after you touch them. So just be aware of that. I wonder if it's actually faster. Nope, I don't think so. Probably not. To get to this platform first. Okay, we lived, we learned. That was a very pleasing sound right there, to hear them both die at the same time. Okay, so this second key right here enables us to get to the air disc fragment. And then from there, you're supposed to get to the, excuse me. From there, you're supposed to get to the last key, and then the last key takes you to the top of the tree. But we are going to skip the last key, and we're going to go to the top of the tree right after we get the air disc fragment by a series of roll jumps that the developers did not want us to be able to do. So. Is my sound lagging again? I think my sound's lagging again. I'm going to turn the sound off for a second, and I'm going to wait for it to get itself together, and then I'll reload it in a second. There's nothing particularly important to hear for this section. We're just going in a tube. We're going in a big tube. It says, hello, big tube. And we're going to smash this world record time right here with this split. I love this split so much, and I can do it so well. So we were behind by 1 minute and 22 seconds. We just saved 6 minutes on that segment. And now we're 5 minutes ahead of the world record. Okay, I'm going to try to... Okay, good. The sound's back. Lovely. Okay. So, now, this is the other path from the first key that we toggled, that I mentioned a moment ago. This is where it takes you, to this fan, which takes you to the last key. But you need to get the second key in order to get the air disc fragment, and that's way more important for us. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go to the top of the tree, straight away. And here's how we're going to do it. You come down to this ridge right here, and then you roll jump down to this pipe. And now what we're going to do is we're going to fly our way up this pipe until we get to a point where we can roll jump down to the top of the tree. At the top of the tree, there is an air disc seal. And we now finally have the third piece of the air disc, so we can actually break that seal. And then after that, there is an elevator that takes you to the last level of the air realm, which is also one of my favorite levels in the game, if not my favorite level in the game. It's beautiful. The air realm is just amazing. I think it's very well thought out. It's kind of annoying and it's kind of dangerous, but it's also just so pretty, and the levels are really cool. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're going to jump all the way over to here. So there's the seal, which we can now break. Oh my god, I didn't hit the split. I'm an idiot. Oof. Oh my god. I'm such an idiot. I thought I hit the split. Rip. It was actually closer to 6 minutes behind. But you know what? That's okay. Oof. My bad, fam. My bad. I didn't hit the split. I feel stupid now. Okay, so here's what I have to explain about this next level. And the splits. Our Earth Power 3 split is going to be really late. Because we get the third Earth Power at a different point in the level than when SillyGoose gets it. He gets it pretty soon in the level. We get it like right at the end. We think it's technically faster to do it that way. So now what we're going to do is so the way this level works, there are 3 keys that power 3 lasers. I don't know why I didn't do an Axion Grab right there. That was stupid. And ordinarily you have to fly down all these platforms to get to the keys. Oh, whoops. That's why we saved. That's why we saved. Don't worry, we're still making good time. We're still making good time. What you're supposed to do is fly down all these platforms right here. We're not about that life. So we could just roll jump down here. And now we're going to use our air power to fly back. Ordinarily, I would get this squid right here, but I'm actually planning on saving in between these next two parts. Whoops. There we go. Which is going to restore my air power anyway, which means I don't need to kill that squid to get more air power for here. Beautiful. Okay. So now we're going to reload a save right here. Now we're going to go get the other two keys. Usually what SillyGoose does is he gets these first two keys, then he goes and gets the earth power, and then he goes and gets the other laser, and then he gets the, oh, whoops. I think I'm going to do 4 roll jumps here. I'm only supposed to do 3, but 4 was definitely what was called for there because the first one didn't actually travel me that far. Now, the developers think that you need the level 3 acid power to get to that key. The developers are very wrong because you could just do that. Not even with the roll jumps. Like, even if we didn't do roll jumps, even if we flew down all these platforms the way the developers wanted us to, we can still just fly around those acid blocks. It's not very difficult. Oh my god! Oh my god. So, I disabled my water power because I didn't want to hit that thing with the water power on because it's actually immune to water. But then I accidentally disabled my air power, which was not what I meant to do.
The air guarding is high above the
Golly. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Should be able to get this. Beautiful. Also, these ladies do a lot of damage, and they are very aggressive. Oh, come now. Also, that mob can knock you off of these platforms, and it is absolutely infuriating when it happens. Especially because we just skipped a save to come here, which means that if we get knocked off a platform, we have to go redo 2 platforms worth of stuff. I think we're good. I'm so trepidatious about those mobs. It's not even funny. Oh god! We're good! We're good! We're fine. Everything's fine. We're fine. Okay. Okay. Now we're at the easier part of the level, which is where we go around and we use the keys that we just grabbed to go put into all of the lasers. We aim the lasers at these 3 receptacles that are at the top of this level. They generate a grav lift beam that enables us to go up and fight the Air Guardian and get the last piece of the air disc. Now, while I'm here, I might as well talk about the Air Guardian. The Air Guardian is a really easy fight. Easy fight. And the reason that the Air Guardian is a really easy fight is because you can interrupt her spellcasts if you do it just right. I'm not kidding. And all you have to do is just zoom your camera all the way out, stand in the center of the room and attack her, and then if she does a spell cast, what happens is whenever she casts a spell, she will, one second. Whenever she casts a spell, I love how that catalyst followed me off the bridge to his death. What a boy. What a good boy. If you attack her by jumping and holding your Axion overhead attack button, what will happen is you will hit her. There's a split second of time where she is vulnerable right before the spell finishes. So you can hit her technically just before the spell finishes and interrupt it. And you'll probably see me do it in just a second. But just know that the Air Guardian is not a difficult fight. It's really straightforward, actually. Okay. So, we are now going to plug in this key, get this 3rd laser. This is just such a beautiful level. God, I love this game. This game's so amazing. I'm really sad that the company that built this shut down and that more people didn't play this game when it came out. It's so good. So you'll notice here that we're losing time with the Earth Power 3. That's because we get it at a different point in the run than SillyGoose does. But make no mistake, we're actually doing really well right now. And we're actually probably saving a little bit of time. So this next split is going to look like trash, And then the split after that, where we get the air disc 4, is going to look immaculate. Well, not immaculate, because we actually died at the very beginning of this split. But that's okay. We lost, like, I don't know, 30 seconds, something like that. Let's not be too risky. I'm going to take this save right here. I don't think I'm going to need it, but just in case. The other reason that I come and get the Earth Power right here dead last is because it's really easy. I don't know how I just jumped up like that. It's really easy to jump from this green section onto the upper parts of the central platform, which enable you to get to the grav lift to fight the Air Guardian faster. So that's why I usually do them in this order. I don't know how a Catalyst just died, but a Catalyst just died. That was funny. Another one just died. What the hell? Y'all hearing this, right? Like, you're hearing the Catalysts die the same way I am? They must be falling off the ledge or something. Okay. Okay. So that looks like a bad split. It looks like we just lost a minute and a half. But the fact is, we just got the power a minute and a half later than how SillyGoose got it. Or maybe even slightly less than that, because we did a really excellent run. Okay. So now, we're going to come here. And this is why I come to green last, is because you can jump over to here, to this piece of landmass right here. And then from here, whoops, you can get over to here. Now, here's the Air Guardian. Air Guardian's really simple. Seriously. She takes 10 hits to kill with any level 3 power that's not Tornado or Ice. She's immune to Tornado, and she takes 4 times as many hits with Ice. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to zoom the camera all the way out. She's going to come right here. We're going to interrupt the spellcast by doing this. Like that. Okay, so that's 1 hit. 2. 3. We're using the air power just to get to her altitude and hit her a little bit easier. It also helps us move slightly faster. Because when you jump forward, with a double jump, you're moving ever so slightly faster. That's 6. You don't need the air power to kill her by any means, but I like it. That's 7. Look how hard this fight is. That's 8. Man, this is like just such a struggle bus. 9. 10. Okay, wow, she's dead. Holy crap. She needs a nerf. That fight is just so ridiculously complicated. I don't understand how anyone can kill that. That's just insane. We are making some insanely good time here. Beautiful. So again, it looks like we lost time with the Earth Power, but we only just got it later. So now we are in stellar position. We're 6 minutes behind the world record. So the only thing that's kind of sucks is the world record has a really, really excellent life run. Like, he does a really good job in the life realm. But he does a pretty terrible job with Balthazar. And I'm not going to say pretty terrible, because it's just a really freaking hard skip. But it takes him like 5 tries to get to Balthazar. We're going to try to get it in fewer than that. So if we have an average Life Realm run and an average Balthazar run, we should get the world record here. Because we're doing extraordinarily well. Okay. So, here's the Earth. Chilling. Damn, that is a pretty sweet Earth, you might say. Around. Okay. So, here's the Life Realm. And by the way, we should not be able to come to the Life Realm as soon as we did. Because again, you're supposed to get the level 3 Earth Power and then go back to the Fire Realm and melt that level 3 Acid Block to go get the Life Disc and then come back and break that seal. We just skipped that by getting that Fragment significantly earlier than we should have. So here's the way this level works. There are these 2 ramps that go all the way up this giant winding path in the Life Realm. And the way it works is there are 3 tiers of switches. There's these switches right here, which extend the second ramp. There's the 3rd tier switches, which require keys that are on the 3rd tier that extend another ramp. And then there's the top tier switches, which extend a 4th ramp that leads up to a top platform that gets you to the life disc. Now, here's the thing. The top switches are the only ones you need to get the life realm into a place where you can reach it on the platform it's on. You need to toggle both the top switches to lower the platform that the life disc is on for you to reach it. So what that means is that you don't have to technically go up both of these ramps all the way through. Because what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go up this ramp that we're on right now and get this key and turn on this switch, and then get the top tier key, the top tier switch. Then you're supposed to walk all the way back down, go up all the way the other ramp to get the other 3 switches so that you can get to both top tier switches. But since we only need the top tier... Oh my god, no! No!
Press the A.
Since we only need the top tier switches, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up 1 ramp of the life realm, and then we're gonna roll jump down to the other top tier switch to get access to the life disc fragment, so that we don't have to walk up this ramp again, like we're doing right now. By the way, learn from my mistake. It's not a good idea to walk up these ramps without the smash shield on. And it's also not a good idea to walk up these ramps that close to the edge. Just go closer to the center. It'll save you some time. And then if that crap happens, you won't die. Like I just did. Like an idiot. So this is not going to be a good life realm record. We just lost... probably about a minute and a half right there, I would say. At least. Maybe even 2. I don't know. How long are we on this one right now? 2 minutes? Okay. Or no, wait, excuse me, 3.5. So yeah, we probably lost about that much. It was probably about 2 minutes. But that's okay. We're still in the lead. We're still in the lead by quite a lot. And the last skip, and I don't know why this bot comes through the floor. It's ridiculous. But anyways, the last skip is where we're potentially going to save the most time, not the life realm. We're actually going to lose time in the life realm because of the mess up we just did. But that's okay. So, these keys are a pain in the ass to get to. Ordinarily, you have to get on that spinning platform that's over there. We are going to skip that by coming up here. Do we have time to get this right now? We might. Maybe. Please. No! No, God. No. Sometimes what will happen is you'll get that key. You're not supposed to be able to climb on that ring, by the way. We climbed on that ring, and that's an exploit, but that's fine. So, you are not supposed to be... Sometimes what will happen is you'll get that key, and then that moving platform will come down, and you will land on the moving platform, and you'll do the... a key pose, whereupon you cannot move for like 5 seconds while you're doing that animation, and then, because you're still on the platform, it'll just roll you off into space, and you'll die. Let's put the smash shield back on. Let's not fall off this edge again. Let's just stand in the center of this thing. Because those little critters can do it too. And it's annoying as hell. Okay. So that's one of the 2 top tier switches. We are about to go hit that switch. And then what's going to happen is we're going to go to the very top of the installation and then roll jump off the other side. Get out of my way. To get to that platform over there to get the other top tier switch. Okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We're gonna be fine. So here's one of the 2 top tier switches. So that's the platform the life disc is on. It's way too high for us to reach right now. It's at the very top of the installation, and there's no way to reach it, to the best of my knowledge. There's no way to reach it without getting both top tier switches, because you just can't get that high. And then whenever you toggle a top tier switch, it looks like it's taking a while for the floor to generate, but honestly, the floor is just there, and you should jump on it immediately, even if it doesn't look like it's there, because it will absolutely hold your weight. Okay, so we are going to roll jump off the side of this installation to get down to that switch right there to lower the platform that the life disc is on. And then we have to get the life disc fragment, which is a fun time in and of itself. And I say that kind of facetiously. Beautiful. So there's that. So now, in order to get rid of the barrier that's around the life disc fragment, you'll notice here that I just stepped on that, and even though it wasn't fully generated, we're fine. So, get out of the way. You've caused me enough harm, you stupid bots. So, we have to play a minigame. The way the minigame works is you're controlling this giant purple floating ball, and you have to drive it through the blue spheres that you see there on those what are called filament cores, while avoiding the 2, the yellow beam and the purple beam, which are called stabilizer streams. They're technically supposed to be both supposed to be purple, but we skipped turning one of them purple because we only did 1 key fragment. Now, the way that I do this minigame I like to think about the diagonals. So what I think about is coming along this direction here and trying to get as many filament cores that are within this line of sight. I need to slow down here because there's a stabilizer stream. Get that. And I don't actually usually go for the filament cores that are right in the center of the installation, because you can get those at any time, but you can't always get the diagonals. So that's what we're going for right now. We will take this center one right here because it's in the way. But again, okay. So we're not doing too bad so far. Those 3 filament cores right there are going to circle around to our right here in just a second. So we're actually going to slow down for a bit and then go get them. And we can get this one too. Oh god! No, 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 no. Okay. Okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. So these filament cores are going to circle back around to the right. We're going to go get them. Oh god, I missed it. Rip. I didn't miss that one though, amazingly. Okay, so there's only 3 left. And I don't know where any of them are. That's one of the things that sucks about this minigame. When you do it really well, you don't know where the remaining filament cores are. Oh, one of them's in the center. Cool. Where are the other 2? Where are the other 2? I don't know. I need to know. Where did you go? Okay, no, I'm not even kidding. Where did you go? Seriously, where are the 2 of you? I need to know. Where are the 2 of you? Where the heck did you go? Where the heck? Okay, there's one of them. Oh, and the other one's the same in the opposite direction. So what we're going to do, since it's circling around to the left, it's going to recircle around to the left right over here in just a second. Should be that one right over there. Okay, yep, good, we got it. Please. Good. Okay, that wasn't terrible. It wasn't, like, perfect, but it was actually pretty good. We got it on our first try, and that's more than some speedrunners can say. There are a lot of people who hate that minigame with a passion. I don't hate it. I think it's actually really cool, and it's quite fun. The people who lose that game a lot are the people who are too impatient with the stabilizer streams. But I really like that minigame. I think it's really cool. Okay. So we just lost a couple minutes there. That couple minutes was... We did a slightly slow run of the minigame, but most of that was just we fell off the ledge earlier and we shouldn't have. Okay. So we are now 4 minutes behind the world record, and we have the potential to still save a massive amount of time with this part, because you'll see in the world record split, it takes them 15 minutes to do this segment. We are able to do it in 6.5 minutes if we are absolutely perfect. We've done it before, multiple times. So let's talk about this last skip. We are going to skip the Death Realm. Now here's how the Death Realm works. As soon as you get all 5 of the regular discs, you go beneath Parathia to the sewers, you find an elevator that takes you to the Death Realm. When you're there, you go across this bridge onto this exterior spire that's branching out from a central spire in the center of the Death Realm, and you trigger a cutscene where the Death Guardian offers you the Death Disc, and before you can accept it from him, Balthazar kills him, takes the discs, and sends you to the underbelly of the Death Realm. Now, once you're there, you're in the underbelly of the Death Realm, and you have to do this level where you're on this giant conveyor belt system, where you have to go around and collect 6 keys that you use at the top of the level to deactivate a barrier that gets you through a door that puts you at the very base of the central spire of the first Death Realm level that you initially enter. And then, when you get there, you do a level where you ride up and down that elevator in the central spire of the Death Realm, and you're collecting keys and toggling switches to manipulate where the elevator is going until the elevator takes you to Balthazar. Now, that entire process, if you're doing it really well and just going straight from key to key to key to switch to switch to switch, takes about 25 minutes to do the whole Death Realm. We are going to skip all of that by doing a series of roll jumps to put us on a different exterior entrance of the central spire, which skips the entire second level of the Death Realm. And then we are going to jump on the elevator as it comes up at us to shoot us up into the central spire so that we can get to Balthazar's room faster. And we're going to skip the whole Death Realm. So we pop on this seal right here. Here's the bridge that leads out to the exterior spire that has the cutscene. The cutscene triggers shortly after the third sapphire that's on this bridge. So we're going to get the first 2. And then after that, we are going to roll jump off of here to get to a different entrance of the central spire, which will skip the underbelly Death Realm level. So here's the third sapphire. We're going to roll jump off to the left here. 1, 2, 3. We're going to come over here. Okay, great. So now we are going to ride on the extensions of the spire of the Death Realm to get to a different entrance to the central spire. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, you always want to land towards the left there because that naturally slopes downwards, which prevents you from taking falling damage like we could have suffered right there. Okay, I want to be doubly sure I'm on this ledge correctly because this is the hardest part of the roll jump part. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we come over here to this bridge. Beautiful. Okay, so now we are in the central spire of the Death Realm. We just got to an alternate entrance. So, there's an elevator at the very bottom of this shaft. This is where you're supposed to start the level, at the very bottom of the shaft. So now the game is saying, hey, he's at a different entrance than the very bottom of the shaft. He needs the elevator to get the rest of the level done. So we're going to send him the elevator. So the elevator is coming up at us. We have to jump on this elevator at a very specific time, at a very specific point on the elevator, in a very specific orientation to get it to launch us up into the elevator shaft. So we have to jump on the third thick black line right here, which is right now. Good. Oh my god. I think we got it. I think we got the world record. So we have to get onto this platform right here, which we did. Okay, there's the potential for one more skip, which is on the third blue line right here. Okay, we didn't get it. That's okay. We can still get a world record once we get out of here. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay, because at this point, we are close enough to the end of the level where we can quite easily just do the rest of this Death Realm level and then go to Balthazar's room by controlling it with the elevator manually, as we're supposed to do. I'm killing this bitch because she's knocked me off this bridge more times than I care to mention. So, toggle this switch right here. This causes the orange switch to go to an observation platform that's just above Balthazar's room. In that room, there is a level 3 steam block that has a key in it, which we're going to use in just a second, and a switch that changes the green button on the elevator to go up to the very top of this central spire. And then in the top of the central spire, there is a switch that needs it. There's a console that needs a key. And when you get there, that switch takes the purple button to go to Balthazar's room. So we're going to pass Balthazar's room right here. That was his laboratory. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to the back side of this room, melt this steam block, get the key.
A key.
We're going to trigger this switch right here. It's going to take us to the top of this platform right here. Then, ow, stop it. Stop it. Bad catalysts. So now we're going to go to the top of the central spire. The key that we just got is going to help us trigger a console that's in this room. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm very happy. We are going to get the world record. It's happening. It's going to happen. We have already saved so much time. So again, the second, so the first elevator bounce saves you like 80% of this level. The second elevator bounce saves you the last 20% if you can do it right. And we didn't quite do it right, but that's okay, because the last 20% of this level, as you can see, takes like 3 minutes. So now we're going to go to Balthazar's room. We're not even going to save, because we're confident that we can kill him. Because there's a multicolored globe in this room, which is really useful. And we're going to go straight to his room, and now we're going to kill him. It's going to take us about 2 minutes to kill him. So we're probably going to beat this world record by about 10 minutes right now, which is really awesome, because we did an excellent run of this. It's not our best run, but it's really dang good. So, we're going to go heck him up with whatever power we want. We're going to switch back and forth between water and lava, which is what we did before when we were on the airship, because that consumes the least amount of elemental fuel. Now, the additional attack he has in this rendition, like he's got a couple of elemental attacks that he can do as a spider, but the one that's really important is he does this jumping attack where he jumps. Ah, dang it. That would have been cool. Huh? Damn. This is an interesting fight so far. That jump attack does smash damage across the entire floor, but if you are on the non-glass area, or if you jump at just the right time, you can actually avoid taking that smash damage, which is quite nice. Oh, whoops. That's not what we meant to do. We are actually dangerously low on health right now. If we lose to Balthazar, I am never going to forgive myself. I'm going to go get the multicolored orb. Yeah, I might have... Ow! Oh, dear God. Do not tell me we are going to lose to Balthazar. That is the lamest way to lose this game. Oh, wow, that's actually a really nice choke point we got right here. Does that actually do consistent damage? That's awesome. Wow, I wish that existed all the time. We're pretty close to killing him. He doesn't have that much HP left. But then again, neither do we. I shouldn't have tried anything fancy. That's okay. I think we're still gonna win. Oh, come on. Oh, and he just drained my elemental fuel, too. Oh, that's actually really problematic. Oh my God, we might not kill him. Oh my God. Please. Please, dear God. And holy sunny Jesus. No! No, 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 no! Please just die right here. Please just die right here. Please just die right here. Yes! Oh my God. Okay.
Rest assured, Azurik, that your feet will yet belong to me.
I'm fine. My heart's not beating any faster than it usually does. I swear. We almost just hecked ourselves on that last split. I didn't know that he could still drain power as a spider. I've never seen him do that before. That's crazy. But man, that was a lot closer than it needed to be. But we just beat the world record by 10.5 minutes. I'm very excited. There is the possibility for a sub 220 split to happen. Which is, means I would have to save another 5 minutes here. And that's definitely possible. There was the 1 minute with the first air power, there was the couple minutes with the second air power, there was the couple minutes with the life disc fragment, there were a couple parts where I could have saved on, air disc 1, and then... oh god, the entire freaking water disc 3 skip, I could have saved 5 minutes there, and we could have gotten a sub... we probably... well, I mean, yeah, and if we hadn't hecked up Balthazar, like, a sub 220 run is possible. I think that's what I'm going to go for next. It's going to be really tricky, but I think I can do it. So yeah, that is my world record run of Azurik, Rise of Paratheon, 80%. I hope you guys enjoyed the run. I hope you guys enjoyed my commentary. Please let me know if you have any questions. I would love to answer them. I love this game. Massive shoutouts to SillyGoose for doing the current world record run and inspiring me, to Rueake and SillyGoose and other members of the Azurik community who have discovered all of these skips, to my boy Mythic Dawn who lent me his capture card so that I could record this, and then to Adrenium, of course, for making such an extraordinary game that I am honored to play and to have the world record on right now. So I'll probably go for a sub 220 run after this. But it feels good. We're gonna watch the rest of this because, you know, it's pretty dope. Good stuff. Man, I can't believe I took that long with Water Disc 3, and I almost botched Balthazar so bad.
Restore the discs.
The thing is, if I hadn't killed him with the last water power that I had, I would not have been able to kill him, because the only two elements I had left were water and air. And if he's immune to water, I can't make any other element that does damage to him.
Uphold the tradition of
So,
master of the elements.
I literally would have been dead if I hadn't killed him right there. That was incredibly lucky. But if I had also just, like, not completely dicked around in the Balthazar fight, I would have been fine, too. And technically, there was a chance, even if I had lost that Balthazar fight, to still get the world record, because I could have redone the skip, and it probably would have taken another 6 minutes. If I had done it correctly, I probably still could have saved some time. But we did really well this run. And that last skip and Air Disc 3 are the reasons that we can do this world record, because we just saved so much more time than what SillyGoose did. But there's still a lot more time to be saved here, which is great. So Balthazar's still not dead, apparently. After all this, he's still not dead. But yeah. Thank you all once again for watching the run. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, my friends.